Good morning to those of us in house. And good morning if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. My name is Adetola Oni, and I welcome you to the 2025 Health Seminar. And today's theme is My Health, My Life. Show me a healthy man or woman, and I'll show you a life that is good. Say good life, everybody. Turn to your neighbor. I want to live a good life. So I'm living a healthy life. I've got a healthy lifestyle. Once again, I say welcome to you. All right, now we're about to start. I sincerely would want to apologize for starting a bit of a shadow. But I promise you, we are off to a very great day today. Welcome once again. All right, before we go forward, we would like to give honor to whom honor is due by just inviting. We know the presence of God is here already, but we just want to acknowledge him and say thank you, Lord, for bringing us together here. And I've got Brother Tunde to please lead us in the opening prayer. It's going to be a short one. You know, we can't do this without God. You know that. All right.
Praise the Lord. Praise the name of the Lord. Yeah, you know, like my sister said, we can't do anything without God. We're in the presence of God, so we have to acknowledge him. So our prayer, basically, I'm going to just read Ecclesiastes 30, 15 to 16 to us. Health and good essence of body, and above all goods, and a strong body, and infinite wealth. There is no riches above sound body, and there's no joy above the joy of the health. So that's the reason why we're here, So we're going to pray by the grace of God that as we're standing and sitting gorgeously, as we listen, the Lord will give us the understanding and the capacity to be able to kind of adapt ourselves to a good health. And every knowledge we're going to get here today is going to be to our benefit in the name of Jesus. So I pray in the name of the Father, in the name of the Son, and in the name of the Holy Spirit, that everything we're going to do here, we commit into the hands of the Holy Spirit. We cover this place with the blood of Jesus. The food that we've already eaten, we cover it with the blood of Jesus. The environment, we saturate it with the fire of the Holy Ghost. And the Lord, and I open this seminar in the name of the Father, in the name of the Son, and in the name of the Holy Spirit. In Jesus' name.
You can have 1,000.
All right, a bit of housekeeping. I've seen a baby or two around, so we have a baby changing room just on my right side. If you go in there, you see a baby changing room. And also, if you need to use the ladies, the gents, we have everything there. And if you don't seem to want to find your way, just call on me and I'll direct you to where it is. All right. And just in case, we forbid that in Jesus' name, just in case there is a fire incident, we have fire exits over there. And over there. We've got 3 of them, but in Jesus' name, we're covered. We've just prayed. All right, just a bit of worship before. Sister Joy, put your hands together for Sister Joy.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. Can we please be upstanding as we worship? I love you, Lord, and I lift my voice to worship. Oh, my soul. you, Jesus. I worship and adore you. Just wanna tell you, Lord, I love you more than anything. I love you, Jesus. Yeah, I worship and adore you. Just want to tell you, Lord, I love you more than anything. I love you, Jesus. Yes, I worship and adore you. Just wanna tell you that, Lord, I love you more than anything. I love you, Lord. Oh, your mercy never failed me. All my days I've been held in your hands. From the moment that I wake up until I lay my head, I will sing of the goodness of God. I love you, Lord. I love you, Lord. Oh, your mercy, Lord, it never fails me. All my days, Lord, have been held in your hands. From the moment that I wake, from the time I was born, Lord, hey, I will sing of your goodness, of your goodness. Yeah, 'cause I'm alive. Yeah, you have been faithful. You have been good all my life. You have been so good. Every breath that I am able, I will sing, Lord, of the goodness. Yeah, one more time, all my life. Yeah, you have been faithful. You have been faithful. You have been faithful forever and ever and ever and ever, Jesus. Oh yes, Lord, you have. Oh Lord, with every breath I have, as long as I'm breathing, I will sing. Yes, I will sing of your goodness, of your goodness. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Oh, your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Oh, your goodness, every day, every heart, every time that I needed your goodness, it's running, it is running, it keeps running and running and running after me, Lord. It's chasing after me, and goodness is running, oh Lord, after me. With my life laid down, I'm surrendered now. I give you everything. Your goodness is running. It's running. Yeah. With my life laid down, Lord, I give you everything. Oh Lord, your goodness. He can running after me.
Yes, God's goodness is running after us. Goodness with good health.
Check.
Thank you very much, choir. Thank you, Sister Joy. All right, please, can we sit down? I told you we are off to a great start. Just before we go any further, you know this is a seminar, and I'm sure you all have your small park. If you have not received a park, can I just see you wave your hands? If you've received a park, if you check in there, you have a pen and there is a jotter so that you take notes of everything that will be said here today. You don't have a, sorry, please, can you wave your hands if you don't have a park? Ushers, please. Yeah, oh, quite a number of people don't have theirs. Oh, on this second row, we need a lot, please. The front row, the second row, over there. Please just indicate if you have not received your park and let the ushers know. Because you know what? We do not value good health until we fall sick. That's when we know that health is wealth. The greatest wealth. You know, every morning we get up, we run to work, come back. Some of us do 24 hours, 7 days a week, morning and night. But the greatest wealth we should aspire for is good health. All right, it's time for the first presentation. And here at the Elevation Point, we have a medical team, which is led by a professional senior matron. I would not do the introduction. I'll let the media do the introduction. Media, are we ready for the first presentation? Please, put your hands together for the medical team lead for the Elevation Point, Nancy Egboluche. But before she comes on, media, please, our video presentation. Media.
And guiding them into management and leadership positions. She has integrated her faith into both her personal and professional life, and she is committed to her mission, which is seeing lives changed, empowered, and renewed. Please, let's make welcome on stage award winner Nancy Egboluche.
Wow. That's a big one. Oh, thank you, media. Thank you, everyone. Just before I go, I just want to recognize the presence of God again. Lord, I thank you for giving us the capacity and the ability and the strength to be here this morning. And I will not proceed without saying thank you to our senior pastor, Pastor Olumide Adeyileka. I just want to say thank you, Daddy, for giving us this space. May God bless you. May God honor you. Let's give a round of applause for our pastor. He's the visionary of this place, the founder of the Elevation Point. And also, everything you see here today, we have the planning team. It's nice to recognize people. Can we just recognize the medical planning team, King's College Hospital, Royal Free, St. Elia? Can you just rise up? Ask me badge, thank you so much. Thank you for supporting. Yeah. And also, I want to recognize NNA, Nightingale Nurses Association. Thank you so much for your support. King's College Hospital, I want to say thank you. And you know what? When you see Nancy, you see people. I have my mentors in the house from 23 years. Being a student nurse, I think. You know, when you see me, you see these people. Can we just recognize them? Tayo Onipede, please. And Roselyn. Thank you so much. I call them mommy. Thank you so much. So I'm going to be briefly talking about my health, my life. First slide, please. First slide video. Just before that, let's do a bit of check-ins. Just talk to your neighbor, introduce yourself. Say hello, how are you? My name is Nancy, and that is me. Say hello. Say, how are you? Say, how are you? How are you doing? What is your expectations this morning? Talk to them. All right, thank you, thank you. You know, you don't know who is there with you in the room. Maybe the president, the next president of United Kingdom. Okay, this is me. For those of you that know me, my primary role as I'm a matron, I'm a quality improvement leader. I'm also a certified professional nurse advocate. I love what I do, and I'm very passionate about my role. Next slide, please. What do you see here? That is why we do this. The book of Isaiah 4:6, sometimes we just need to refer to these things. People don't want to know the truth. People don't want to hear the truth. And people don't want to speak the truth. And they don't want to do the truth. And what happens? He said, my people perish. What? Because of lack of knowledge. Because they've rejected that knowledge. And I don't want you to leave here today without putting down something. If you see in your bag, you've got your notebook, you've got a pen, please write it down. And go back and reflect on them and start making goals. Next slide, please. Next slide. Okay. I love this. World Health Organization. This is their definition of health. We simply say it's a state of complete physical health, mental health, well-being, and not merely the absence of diseases or infirmity. So it's important to understand this. If you look at this picture, I don't know if you can see that. We have to look after these things. Your mental health, your social well-being, connection, your physical health needs. We have to put this into consideration. Next slide. Now, what is life? I want you to pause and ask yourself that question. What is the purpose of my life? Why are you here on earth? Just pause, think about that. What is good health? Is good health the key to fulfilling life? Next slide. During my studies, I bumped into this gentleman called Jim Roy, who was an American entrepreneur and author. It says, take care of your body because it's the only place you have to live. And when you look at this, you are taking charge of your health. And that comes with accountability. That comes with discipline. That comes with responsibility. And that also comes with your choice. I can only give you this word, but you have to go back and make those choices yourself and making the right choices. And we must be intentional about it. Taking charge of your health. Next slide. Again, I love pictures. I love diagrams. Which road are you willing to take? That is just an overview about your life, about a purposeful life, about a fulfilling life. Are you choosing to go the hard way or the easy road? Think. Next slide, please. I mentioned earlier, I said discipline versus comfort. Are we willing to make sacrifices for long-term health, or do you prefer short-term ease? You see what is here today. Is it free? I don't think anyone paid here. If you paid to come to this thing, let me see your hands. We've put these things together to help us to raise awareness in this community, in our community, in the BAME community. Because a lot of statistics have shown that there is an issue. Annual health check is free in United Kingdom. It is free, except you want to do the private business, but it's free. I look forward to this seminar every year because this is where I do my annual checkup. Because I'm going to be doing my blood pressure today, I'm going to be doing my BMI today, I'm going to be doing my kidney status today, I'm going to be looking at the food people. Are you going to be active? We got the fitness people in the house, or are you going to be lazy, sleeping all day? What about the food? McDonald's, KFC. So it's about discipline. Discipline plays a very important role in this. Next slide, please. So this just explains about accountability versus excuses, about you taking responsibility of your choices, because you don't have to blame anyone about your life. You are in control of your life. And that is what makes a happy home, a happy life, and a fulfilling life. And we need to start making these choices so that it can be a sustainable lifestyle changes. And you're going to be hearing the rest of the speakers today, and they are going to address them. Next slide, please. Now, when we talk about the growth mindset versus fixed mindset, are we open to learning? Are we going to take something away from this place? Are we going to write down our goals, attainable goals? Are we going to do something about our life? Are we going to be disciplined? Are we going to be proactive, or we are going to be reactive, using that reactive approach that you see here? So this is about learning from mistakes. Today you can make that decision. You can leave here fully informed and fix things that needs to be fixed. Please, open your mind to take something away from here. We must be open to learning. I learn every day. Every day. Next slide, please. One thing I love about Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs, you see, you cannot run before you crawl, or you cannot crawl before you run. Does that make sense? So it identified 3 levels of needs. I love this. If you look at this, you have to fix the foundation before we go to the self-fulfillment needs, which is your goals in life and everything. But looking at that, it talked about your food is a necessity. If you look at, this is the level I'm talking about here. Talking about food, your warmth, your sleep is important, water, your security, your safety needs. Then the 3rd level is talking about your psychological needs, your connections. That is why I say hello to yourself. That is very important. It helps our mental well-being, our friendship, our relationship, our connections, our family. Before we start talking about the esteem, yes, it's good to talk about your life goals, but you know, if you don't address these ones, you can't go there, reaching your full potential. Because once you're at the top and you don't feel the bottom, it is a problem. It is a big problem. And what is life? What does life mean to you? When you have time, go back. It's a good tool to use. Look at the 5 levels, and please start from the bottom and make your way up. Stretch yourself. But we must fix our homes. We must fix our family. We must be connected. We must have relationships, and healthy relationships. Next slide, please. The next slide just talked about an holistic approach about your physiological needs in terms of your food, your water, your rest, your sleep, because these are the things that make healthy body. And of course, your safety. So you just address it in a holistic way by looking at your home, thinking about job, employment, practicing those mindfulness, your love and belonging, your family, socialization, therapies, your community. This is your community. Where you work is your community. We must look after them. We must look after it. We must look after ourselves. And we must love ourselves. And that's a sense of belonging. Next slide, please. So So then that is the 4th level before you go to because it's 5 levels. If you look at the esteem needs, it's just talking about your personal goals, fitness, building up those skills that you need, fostering self-love, practices those things. But you know what? You need to address the bottom. Then we come to your full self, where you've achieved these skills, looking at the 4 levels, then that is who you are. That is where I call becoming. Becoming. That is what meaningful life goals means. Exploring creative hobbies, meditating, and setting goals that we can achieve. Next slide. So now, I just want us to stand up and say this to ourselves, because we're going to make a decision now, because these are your choices. Say, I will think positively. I will exercise daily. I will eat healthy, no McDonald's. And I will work hard. I choose to stay strong. Worry less. My mind. Dance more. Love often. And be happy. Love your body. Because that is where you live. Thank you. Next slide. Next slide. That is me. I run master classes in terms of career growth, career development. If you need help, please do reach out to me. Let me know what you want to do. Thank you. Can we just play the biteable video for those of you that missed the first part, please? And just relax. You. Mr. 90 Emma 90 says, people succeed because they have put down their head goals. And I want you to do that today. Thank you.
Please put your hands together for the Elevation Point medical lead, Nancy Egoluche. Put those hands together for her. And you know, from our session, my take home, there's something you said. You said, are you willing to make sacrifices for long-term health, or do you prefer short-term ease? That's food for thought. I think I would make the sacrifices now so that I can enjoy my life later. Put your hands together again for her. All right, moving on now is we're talking about hypertension. If you are from the BAME community, you really need to listen to this. Media, please, are we ready for the introduction of the next guest? Our next guest is a lead nurse specialist and a clinical senior matron, NHS. And he's talking about hypertension. Media, please. Our body is very important. That's where we live, so we should take care of it. Otherwise, before you know it, the body collapses, and once the body collapses, that's all.
Coming up next is Ropkisho Heriel. He's presently the advanced kidney care matron, leading a team of clinical nurse specialists looking after patients with chronic kidney disease within the renal unit at the St. Helier Hospital. He qualified as a registered nurse in 1994 and has occupied several senior nurse roles within some renal units across London Hospitals NHS Trust. His main clinical interests are managing patients with hypertension, diabetes, and supporting patients with making the right choices for renal replacement therapy. Put your hands together for Rob Perry.
Can you hear me? Yeah, so I've tried to do the talk for the layperson because I've tried to avoid using medical jargon, because I think for the population around, for the lay people, I think we need to take a serious look at hypertension. Okay, first slide, please. I want to talk about hypertension among the Black, Asian, and minority ethnics. That's what we call BAME. So I've given you a definition. So basically, the main message that I want you to take away from here today is understanding, basic understanding, prevention, and management, and also raising awareness across your communities when you meet at church gathering or any other gathering for that matter. Second slide. So a basic definition of hypertension is a condition where the blood pressure in the arteries is persistently elevated, defined by a reading of 140/90 or higher. Basically, it's described as two types: primary hypertension, which has developed over a period of time, and secondary, which is caused by medical conditions such as kidney disease, hormonal disorders, diabetes, and other things. So why is it important for us to address hypertension in the BAME community? BAME community has a higher proportion of people with complication from cardiovascular disease as a result from hypertension, which are stroke, heart attacks, heart disease, and kidney failure. Third slide, please. So basic statistics for you all. So in the UK, about 28% of the population suffer from high blood pressure. So that's 1/5, roughly. So if you look at our African Caribbean communities, 50% of our population suffer from high blood pressure. And we all die very early from stroke, cardiovascular disease. And if you look at our South Asian communities, like 30 to 40%. And this is mostly contributed from diabetes, which is also another thing. That both of them is a double whammy, really. And if you look at the white compared to the BAME population, we are very, very difficult to access healthcare because we live mostly in urban areas, and sometimes very difficult for us to get appointments at GPs. and getting screened and things. And there is some also health literacy issues. We don't want to address these issues, and we don't want to get screened, basically. That's the bottom line. And sometimes it's a bit too late when we seek help, and some of the causes are irreversible. So we can't reverse some of the causes. So today, everybody that's here, you need to have your blood pressure checked. And if it's high, please get a small machine for £20 and do some home monitoring at home to prevent white coat syndrome. And then seek help from your GP. It's free. Slide 4, please. So the main impact is quite severe impacts if we suffer from high blood pressure from people. So basically, they are not able to work, and there's lots of poverty around that thing. So basically, the main things is if somebody has got persistent high blood pressure, they are not productive at all. That's a major issue. And the risk of heart attack, heart failure, and stroke very early in their career is just outstanding. And these people do very badly. So kidney disease also are one of the main factors. Basically, hypertension leads to kidney disease, and then you spend a long time on dialysis because we don't have enough donors among ourselves for people to get transplant. So that's one of those things. And the diabetes population, they suffer from hypertension and loads of complications, such as nerve damage, amputation, retinopathy, and everything else. And all of these together, all these people suffer from mental health issues. And that's where they face a lot of challenges in their life, from work, families, trying to address all these issues. So the main thing that we need to look at, genetic factors. I think we need to get us all to start participating in more research to understand about the genetic predisposition. Why are we so prone to hypertension? So the next bit is our diet, really, high salt intake, and we consume very less fruits and vegetables. Physical inactivity, especially in urban areas, not enough facilities for us to go to gym, and gyms are quite expensive. Obesity and overweight. Diabetes, very high prevalence of diabetes in the South Asian community. And bad habits such as smoking and alcohol consumption. And some of these things are basically, some communities tend to promote these things as at social gathering and things, so we need to change the practice, basically. Slide 6. So women from the BAME community suffer quite a lot from gender disparities. Basically, most of them suffer from hypertension as a result of pregnancy related, and they find it very hard to access healthcare. So we need to change that. The other bit is about the health inequalities, social economic factors, income, education, health disparities among the BAME population. So the long-term consequence is increased healthcare costs. People are not able to work. The reduced quality of life, productivity, economic burden on affected individuals and families and communities. So what's more important today is to raise awareness for early detection and management. Slide 7. So I'll talk briefly about the drugs. It's just basically, there's about 6 common drugs that we use to treat high blood pressure. Diuretics, which is mainly known as water tablets, who help the body to eliminate excess sodium in water, reducing the blood volume, hence reducing the blood pressure. You have ACE inhibitors, and some of our BAME people don't do well with ACE inhibitors. So the thing is, if everybody gets introduced to go and participate in drug trials and research about blood pressure medication, we should take the opportunity to do so, because we do very badly with tablets because we react to everything. So ARBs, that also is known is to promote vasodilation, reduce blood volume. Calcium channel blockers, which is amlodipine basically. That's another side effect is swollen ankle. Beta blockers is just basically reducing your heart rate. And alpha blockers is just preventing constriction of your blood vessels. Next slide. So basically, I think I've got a dietitian that's going to talk later, but I'll just put a slide just in case people want to use it at a later stage so they can have a look at it. So basically a bit more about treatment guidelines really. Just basically we need to do some home monitoring because to avoid the white coat syndrome. And the BAME community, they need multiple tablets. I think one is not enough. We need a combination therapies. And then basically we need to start looking at adherence really also. And basically that's about it. And venues like this are very good grounds to promote good health issues. So we need to talk amongst our communities, at church visits, family involvement, everybody else, just to promote good, healthy living, really. We need to use these venues because some people find it very difficult to access mainstream healthcare. So through these sorts of venues, this is a first contact point so that we can be signposted to where to seek help. And there's plenty of healthcare professionals among our communities. Next slide. So basically it's about early intervention, detection, blood pressure measurement. Like I said, home is the best thing. The best way of measuring it is just to sit down for 10 minutes, do the first reading, remain sitting down with them, do the second reading, and do another one after 5 minutes. So that's about 20 minutes that you've been at rest, and the third reading is your actual blood pressure. Because when you go to a healthcare professional, you're so anxious about it that you are going to be 150 over 200. Really, you break the machine there, really. And suddenly they give you four medication and you go outside and you collapse. Simple. Yeah, so guidelines is basically, we need to use NICE guidelines. And for further research, we need to participate in research trials for them to understand us. So we need to be more involved with drug trial, research trial, and everything else. And we need to use sometimes we need to start looking at how we live our lives and what we used to do 30 years ago and what are we doing now. So we need to move with the times. And also identify barriers to healthcare. Why are we not accessing healthcare? It's free in this country. Why don't we go to our hospital, to the doctors? And lifestyle, exercise, like we said, healthy eating and everything else. So today there's some testing happening, so I think everybody get their test done today. And probably if you feel that you've got high blood pressure, then you need to seek help straight away. Next slide. So some of those easy takeaways today is whether we're going to change our lifestyle, weight management, limit alcohol consumption, stop smoking, regular exercise. So these are simple takeaways. Next slide. Next slide. So this is the most important slide, I think, for us to take away today. These sorts of venues tend to describe people. So if you look at the case study of number one is Mr. Ahmed, 55-year-old Pakistani man, was not aware that he had high blood pressure until a community health event like today. And then he became an advocate. He talked at the mosque, he talked at every session to talk about how this event has changed his life. The second one is about the community initiation hypertension awareness in black communities, workshop, venues like this today, and hopefully we will share the good word, and hopefully people will start taking notice. Last slide. So this is basically closing the gap, and how do we make sure that we all get treated properly? Access to healthcare services, community organization, local government, and everything else. So for us, for further research and things, I think improving hypertension management in the BAME communities in the UK requires a united effort to address cultural, social, and systemic barriers. Collaboration between all stakeholders can significantly enhance health equality and promote better health outcomes. So this is the key takeaway today.
Thank you very much.
I think we're going to take the questions after. Is that
Yeah, after, please.
yeah, right. Okay, thanks.
Thank you. All right, that was a wonderful presentation. Starting from the first presentation by Nancy, that just gave us an overview of what to expect today. And now to Roop, talking about hypertension, you know, it's just raised awareness. The presentation is just to raise awareness about hypertension, just for early detection and then management. How do we manage it? You know, some of us, we are Christians and we just be like, no, I'm not going to go to the hospital. I'm not sick in Jesus' name. Please, let us go to the hospital, check our blood pressure so that we can, if it is picked up early, it can be managed. Thank you very much, sir. All right, we'll move on now. And this next one, yes, we're talking diabetes management. It's another problem with the BAME community, diabetes. If you like to eat sugar, continue. Your body will tell. I'm not a doctor, so she's coming to tell us more about that. Media, please, are we ready for the next guest? Vera? Is it Vera? Okay. Are we ready? She's a senior diabetes specialist nurse with the NHS Trust. She's coming to talk to us about how to identify diabetes in our system, then how to manage it.
Vera Ajay is a skilled and empathetic diabetes specialist nurse with years of experience in helping individuals navigate the complexities of diabetes management. She holds a range of clinical and non-clinical experience in diabetes, human resources, and lifestyle management. She currently works as a senior diabetes specialist nurse in a reputable London NHS Trust. She is committed to promoting clinically tailored diabetes health literacy and awareness in the African Caribbean community, reinforcing the importance of self-care in managing chronic conditions like diabetes. Please welcome Vera Ajay.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me. Thank you, media team. That was nice. I just wanted to add, I'm also a member of Nightingale Nurses Association. You see them around. And we are a group of nurses from Ghanaian background. Our main aim is to promote health in the African community. So feel free to invite us on any health promotion topic. We will come and deliver. Today I'm talking to you about diabetes, and I will be focusing on type 2 diabetes in particular, because we don't have much time. We can talk for days about diabetes, and type 2 diabetes, we can prevent it, or at least we can delay its onset. So why not talk about type 2 diabetes? So we can make a start with the first slide. The next one. We will be focusing on risk factors. We will be focusing on We will talk about what diabetes is. If we say somebody has diabetes, what's going on in their body. The risk factors, as I said, how to prevent it. If you already have it, how can you manage it? And if you don't manage it properly, the complications that come with it. We go to the next slide. Next slide, please. Diabetes must be taken serious. Why? If you look at these statistics somewhere here, you can see that in a week, diabetes can cause 190 amputations. It can also cause 770 strokes, 590 heart attacks, and 230 heart failure cases. And Asians and we blacks, we are 2 to 4 times of higher risk of getting type 2 diabetes than our white counterparts, because some literature says there are economic disparities. Yes, there are economic disparities. There is health illiteracy. But Sister Nancy was talking about accountability and responsibility. How many of us set time aside for exercise? What is on our plate? What are we eating? Our food is more than 60% carbohydrate. What do we do about it? Do we go for our health checks? So we need to take responsibility for our actions as well. Next one, please. So this is our digestive system. When we eat carbohydrates, and we get carbohydrates from all our food, rice, yam, eba, gari, plantain, everything contains carbohydrates. It gets broken down in the stomach, and it gets broken down into glucose. Glucose is our main source of energy. We need glucose for energy. So when the body detects that the glucose level has risen, you can see that yellow leafy thing underneath the stomach, somewhere here. It's the pancreas. So what it does is it will release a hormone called insulin. The job of the insulin is to take the glucose from our bloodstream to our cells, where it's meant to be. Take it this way. Let's say this is our cell. This is where the glucose is supposed to come in. For the glucose to come in, the doors of the cells must be opened. If it's locked, the glucose cannot come in, just like you entered. If the door was locked, you couldn't have entered. So for the glucose to get in, the insulin opens the doors of the cell walls for the glucose to enter. That is where it's meant to be. It's not meant to be in our bloodstream. And based on that, we get our energy to go about our daily business. When you have diabetes, that does not happen. And it could be that your pancreas, which is supposed to produce the insulin, is not producing the insulin at all for type 1 diabetes. So for them, they will need to inject themselves or have insulin pump for life, which will be delivering their insulin. Or for type 2, if you go to the next slide, please. For type 2, there is insulin production, but it may not be enough for you. Or your body is not using it effectively as it should, which we call insulin resistance. So type 2 cases is the most common case, and it constitutes about 90% of all diabetes cases. You can have it for up to 10 years without you knowing. So you can have it in you. If you don't attend your appointments, there will be no blood test done. You wouldn't know you have type 2 diabetes. There will be no treatment. And it gets worse and worse. So please go for your appointments. And yes, as I said, you can have it without you knowing. Next slide, please. We cannot cure type 2 diabetes, but you can take it into remission, just to add. You can reach a state in your management where you don't need any treatment. You just eat healthy, exercise, that's it. It's good for your diabetes. But you cannot cure it. So we normally say prevention is better than treatment because you are not going to cure it. These are the risk factors. Some risk factors are modifiable. It means you can do something about it. Some, there is nothing you can do about it. You can't change your race. We are blacks forever. You can't change your age. You may deny that you are growing old, but you're still old. So those ones you cannot change. But things like being overweight, most African communities, when you are big, people think like you're having a good life. No. Yeah. You are investing in diabetes, you are investing in hypertension and all that. When you lose weight, everybody will ask you, are you sick? Are you okay? Yeah. No. So those ones, we can do something about it. Yeah? We can exercise, we can eat healthy, change our lifestyle, stop smoking, and all that. We can do something about it. Next slide, please. So these are the symptoms of type 2 diabetes. When your sugar level is elevated in your blood, the natural response of your kidney is to remove it through your urine. So the threshold for the kidney is 10. When you prick your finger, it's around 10 millimole per liter. So the natural reaction is for the kidney to remove it. So because the kidney is trying to remove it, you wee a lot. You pass lots of urine. And to the point where water will be drawn from your cells because you are trying to pass urine to eliminate the glucose. That makes you thirsty. So you'll be drinking lots of water as well. The sugar is supposed to go to your cells for energy, as we said. It's not reaching your cells. So your brain thinks you are hungry. So you need to eat. So you feel hungrier. You are always tired because your cells are not getting any energy. It's also another symptom. For type 1s, in particular, you can lose weight. Type 2s, hardly do they lose weight. They gain. But type 1s, they lose weight with this. You can have blurred vision as well. Your vision will be blurred because the glucose level is high. And when you have these symptoms, maybe you go to your GP and say you are having these symptoms. They will finger prick you. They will prick your finger to check your sugar level. Your fasting sugar is basically, let's say you ate tonight, you haven't eaten again the following morning, no meals, between 8 to 12 hours. If we prick your finger and your sugar level is more than 7, your fasting sugar, you could be diabetic. The random sugar is any sugar tested after you've eaten. If we prick you and it's more than 11.1, you could be diabetic. The HbA1c is the blood test taken to the lab. So this blood test is calculating your sugar level for the past 3 months. It goes backwards. So ideally, is the sugar attached to your hemoglobin. Your hemoglobin renews itself every 2 to 3 months. And if it renews itself, the sugar shouldn't remain. But if they do the blood test and you still have lots of sugar there, then they do this test. If your test comes back as less than 42, hooray, no diabetes. 42 to 47 is pre-diabetic. We don't give you any medication. We tell you you are pre-diabetic. Change your diet, exercise, so that you don't get to 48, which is diagnosis of diabetes. Next one, please. If you have diabetes or you are trying to prevent diabetes, we can manage it through these 3 ways. Your diet, exercise, and medications. I'm not talking about medications today because there are lots of diabetes medication we can't go through. But whatever you are on, make sure you know what it's doing to your body, your side effects, and track your progress. I will be talking about diet and exercise. So we go to the next one, please. Now, diabetes, we don't say stop eating this. Some people will say, my GP says I can't eat rice, I can't do that, I can't. We say eat in moderation. So the word is moderation. We need glucose. We need it for energy, but we don't need it in excess, okay? So the amount of carbohydrates you do consume, will definitely have an impact on your sugar level. And for type 1s, we don't even restrict them about what to consume. They just need to calculate the amount of carbohydrate in their diet and match it with their insulin. But for type 2, it depends on your age, it depends on your health goals, what you are trying to achieve. Somebody who wants to lose weight may be on a low-carb diet to enable them to lose weight, and someone may just eat normal. I mean, It depends on what you are trying to achieve. The amount of sugar, we do advise that don't add any sugar to your tea, your coffee, your cereal, and all that. But the amount of sugar you can have, when you look at the 11 plus years there, it's saying 7 cubes. This is a day. You think, ooh, I have allowance. No. If you take 3 tablespoons of cooked rice, yeah, that is 3 spoons there. That is 3 cubes. And we all know that we don't eat 3 tablespoons of rice. We fill our plate with it. So definitely this is a no-no. Yes. Next one, please. If you take nothing away from me, just take a picture of this plate. When you're about to eat, you compare it with your plate. Half of your plate must be vegetables. The other half you divide into 2, one side for your protein and the other side for your carbohydrates, your rice. And all your swallows, everything you swallow, your fufu, your eba, all that, go for the fist size. It shouldn't be more than this side. Yeah? Drink more soup, have more stew. Next one, please. So if you look at this amala, 130 grams, you see the impact on the sugar level. That is okay. If you double the size, look at that. Your sugars will go up. And look at the one at the bottom. It's through the roof. So swap your rice. Don't go for this plate, the one on the other end. Yeah? Divide your plate into 2, half vegetables. The other half divided into 2, one side for your carbs, one side for protein. Next one, please. We all know the importance of exercise to our health. With diabetes, we do recommend at least 150 minutes of moderate exercise or 75 minutes of vigorous exercise, 5 out of the 7 days. So if you divide your moderate exercise, it will be 30 minutes a day. Your vigorous one will be 15 minutes a day. Please, let's try and exercise. Important. Next one. If we don't manage the diabetes properly, it comes with complications. When the sugar level in your blood is risen, it makes your blood thick, just like adding sugar to water. It becomes thick. You see that it becomes thick. When it thickens, it can form clots. The clots can travel to any part of your body. If it gets stuck in your brain, stroke. So you are likely to see all those people with stroke, heart attack, they all have diabetes, and it's poorly managed. Yeah? If it gets stuck in your heart attack, your kidney failure, it can cause neuropathy. Basically, you get diabetes patients, they will step on a needle, they won't feel it. They've lost sensation in their feet. So we do advise, if you have diabetes, make sure you are protecting your feet. If you can't check it, just put a mirror on the floor. Every day, just hover your leg on it and see what's going underneath there. If you stuck on if you stood on something and it got stuck there, I mean, you can seek medical help, because if you ignore it because you don't feel it, by the time you realize you need amputation. That's how so many diabetes patients need amputation. And it can affect you sexually. You know, with the men, erectile problems. It comes with it. With the woman, you can get thrush. It's not good for the bedroom. You understand? So we can manage it better. It can affect your sight. Diabetes is the #1 cause of blindness. And it's just because the glucose blocks your retinal veins. So please, there is help. There is free medication for all diabetes patients. You need to move and do something about it. Next one, please. So moving forward, what we are going to do now, diabetes, type 2 diabetes can be prevented. So we need to eat healthy. We need to increase our exercise, physical activity. We need to maintain a healthy weight. Losing 15 kgs can take you into remission. And losing 5 kilos of your body weight can improve your HbA1c level. And go for your annual checks. Please, I went to a church, the pastor was giving testimony that for the past 8 years, he hasn't been to see the doctor. Please, this is not testimony, no. At least go for your checkups. It's good that you haven't been ill, but at least your checkups, you must go for it. We call it body MOT, yeah? Go for it annually. Thank you very much. I shall take your questions later.
That was very educative. And my take home, he said something that we cannot change our race, we can't change our age, even though some of us will go pump vitamin C in our body, pump anything to look young, but your age is still your age. But one thing we can change is our lifestyle. Stop drinking fizzy. Water, water. And that rice thing, the way you would divide it, although that portion, I'm still thinking about it. And that mala, when it's round and big without okra soup, it goes well. But now you said we should cut it in half. We'll try. May God help us. All right, we'll move on. From hypertension, we've come to diabetes. Then if you have all of these things, the effect it's going to have on your kidneys. And that's why we're moving on to kidney health now. And we have the friend of the house. The friend of the house. She's always here. She's my sister, Rosalind Adeyileka. Did I get that right? Adeyileka. All right. Okay, she's going to be talking. Okay, Rosalind is a senior lecturer at King's College, University, London, and the lead nurse researcher and consultant at the King's College Hospital as well. But the media will do a proper introduction of her. Please put your hands together for Rosalind as we play her media presentation.
Rosalind Elsie Adeyileka is a trained renal nurse who previously worked as a dialysis manager in Ghana prior to migrating to the United Kingdom, where she worked at Barts Health. She presently works for King's Kidney Care as a community nurse researcher. She's also a lead nurse for clinical practice and education and a senior lecturer practitioner. Her clinical focus has been on continuous workforce education, improving vascular access longevity, and recently promoting culturally tailored kidney health literacy and awareness among people of African Caribbean heritage. She's also part of a Share the Pressure steering committee members who focus on the timely identification and collaborative management of high blood pressure. She is a mother of 2 adorable boys, a friend, destiny helper, and a career coach. Please put your hands together for Rosalind Elsie Adeyileka as she takes the microphone.
Thank you very much. I think I should just go and sit down because the first 3 speakers have done my work for me. They've just done my work for me, and I don't need to add anything, but I still have a few more things to add. There were things that I took from all the sessions. First was accountability about my health. The only place I have to live is my body. And if I don't look after it very well, which other place can I go and live? Nowhere else. And then when we listen to diabetes and we also listen to hypertension, there were mention of genetics. Now, I had a friend who told me something about genetics that shifted my concept. So she said, Rosalind, we've heard a lot about genetics, and genetics that, I am overweight is my genetics. I have blood pressure is my genetics. Then she said, today I'm going to teach you a new concept. Genetics loads the gun. Then I said, I beg your pardon? Yes. Genetics loads the gun. But a loaded gun doesn't work. What do we need to do? So lifestyle is the trigger. That was the concept she gave me. Genetics loads the gun, but lifestyle is the trigger. Slide one, please. So what I want us to look at is looking after my life, blood pressure, diabetes. Just a brief overview of if I do not take control of this, what then happens? And I like using this, taking from what Nancy said, it's all in my mind. My mindset affects my health. Accountability is in my mind. So if I look at this McDonald's or this KFC, and I say I have to enjoy it, even if, and then this is one person said, Rosnisha, I will just pray Holy Ghost on it. And then I said, you can pray all the tongues in this world. The fact remains the same. It will not change. It's all in our mind. Exercise, everything that we do, it's all in our mind. And if I tell my mind that I can do something, it doesn't matter how tired I am. I can do it. So today, I like the affirmation Nancy made us say. I exercise daily. I eat healthy. It's all in our mind. Next slide, please. So I've spoken about our mindset. Next slide, please. Come on, media. Next one. If we look at hypertension and diabetes, why should we focus on kidney health? Inability to address both of them leads to my kidneys failing. And although I have 2 kidneys, and this is a question people have asked me, Roslyn, is it one kidney fail and then the other one starts working? Well, sometimes we may have a problem with just one, but other times the 2 of them, especially if the main risk factor is high blood pressure and diabetes, the 2 of them go together. Okay? So let's look at how we can do that, how we can maintain that. Next slide, please, media team. Next slide. Okay. I'm also going to be a bit controversial here. We all have 2 kidneys. How many can we live with? So what is the other one for? Well, people say it's a spare. I call it a gift of life. So that's what I call the second one. It's a gift of life. We can give it to somebody. Well, people have said, Rosalind, that's not fair. Somebody has done everything to mess up their kidneys. You want me to give them my own? That is not fair. But there are children who are born with no kidneys. There are children who are born with deformed kidneys. There are people who develop conditions that messes up their kidneys. There are medications that people take that messes up their kidneys. And today I'm going to say one thing about medications. Please, those of us who are here, who have been prescribed medications by our GPs, who are asking our family members to bring us herbal portions from home. Let me say this. I have no problem with herbal medications. The only challenge we have is that whatever herbal medications we are taking, we don't know its effect on the medications our GPs here have prescribed. So before we take anything, please let us be mindful and speak to our doctors about adding any herbal medications to our medications, herbal concoctions as well. Next slide, please. I don't know the size of this room if we were to measure it. But in our kidneys, there are very, very tiny blood vessels. So tiny. That is the reason why high blood pressure and diabetes messes it up. It is so tiny, you have to pull a strand of fine silk hair to actually see these blood vessels. And if we were to pull all of that in the kidneys and stretch it out, it measures 10 kilometers. Can you imagine this? 10 kilometers. Whilst that is good, it also has a bad side. In the sense that the early stages of poor kidney health does not show any symptoms. Because I have 10 kilometers. And sometimes the 10 kilometers will keep going until I have lost 70. That is when people start realizing that they have a problem with their kidneys. Next slide, please. Next slide, please, media team. Okay. We talked about the heart. Now, can you imagine the size of the kidney is almost the same as the size of my fist? I like the analogy with the amount of carbohydrate. This thing always throws people off. But this is the size of my kidneys. Now, can you imagine this organ, this size organ, 1,200 mils? Those of us who have water, how many mils is that? I think that bottle of water is 500. Yeah. Now, can you imagine 2.5 times of that inside my kidneys every minute as we sit down? 2.5 times of that bottle inside my kidney, 60 seconds. Okay? In a day, 1,700 liters. Those of us who drive, how many gallons is that? And how far would that take me? Somebody said Africa. Why am I saying that? I want us to value our kidneys, to see the amount, the enormity of responsibility, if I should say it that way, the enormity of responsibilities on our kidneys. The kidneys, I will call it the rudder of the whole body. Why do I say that? Every single cell in the body needs oxygen and glucose. These two are maintained by the kidneys. So once the kidneys start going down, part of the body starts going down with it. I would like to emphasize most importantly on the brain and the kidneys. My brain needs 2 essential things: glucose, oxygen. How many minutes can my brain survive without oxygen? Somebody say 3 minutes. How long will I last? Maximum 5 minutes. No oxygen. My brain is gone. It would not resurrect. I may be alive. The rest of my body organs will be functioning, but this brain is gone. The next thing is glucose. We can see the impact of maintaining a healthy kidney on my whole body, my entire body. Okay. Next slide, please. Next slide. If we look at the risk factors, we can see the 2 main. So I have just put just the 2 main: high blood pressure, diabetes. Okay. And whilst we can again see the risk factors for even diabetes, being pre-diabetes, being overweight, weight is a very sensitive thing when we are talking about it, especially when it comes to Africans. Like somebody said, if you are trim, it means that you are not eating well. If you're a woman and you are married and your husband is trim, it means you are not cooking well for them, or you are not looking after your husband very well. That is not true. That is not true. Not at all. Okay. Not at all. Like somebody said, Rosalind, sure. So you have these 2 boys. I said, yes. But you're a schoolgirl. This is in your mind. I am not a schoolgirl. The fact that my body is this way doesn't mean I am a schoolgirl. And we have to change that concept. That is what is affecting us. We need to change this concept of what health is. Health is not about being a large size, no. And also, please let me not disabuse that, because you can also be healthy and still overweight, or you can also be overweight and not have any healthcare issues. Not now. But later on in life, those things will come. So it's important for us to maintain a healthy body. Next slide, please. Next slide. This is what gives me the passion. King's College, where I work, 40% of the patients I see are me. And I don't understand it. Because we are underrepresented in this country. What percentage of black people are in UK? So I don't see why the people who come to the clinic, 40% of them is me. I need to go back into my community to do something, to change that. Enough of the statistics about black people, this, black, that. Together as a community, we need to change the statistics. And please let me say this, nobody will do it for us. I will say this again, nobody will do it for us. We have to do it ourselves. Yeah? I was saying to somebody that I like the song Michael Jackson said. And I don't know whether you know which Michael Jackson song I will relate this to. Who knows which one I'm referring to? No, this is not about We Are the World. Who cares about us? This was the song Michael Jackson said. They don't really care. It is going to take all of us here as a community to care about ourselves and to care about our health and to change these statistics. Nobody will do it for us. And that's the analogy. We have to do it for ourselves. Next slide, please. Next slide. We see the increase in high blood pressure. We see the increase in diabetes. And if we do not do anything about it, this is what is going to hit us. We see this as an emergency. And together, kidney disease in adults is preventable. It is preventable. Even when we find people with the early stages of poor kidney health, we can still stop them from developing what we call end-stage kidney failure. And it's going to take all of us to work together. Okay. Next slide, please. My urine says it all. So I'm sure that this morning some of us have gone to the ladies already or to the gents already. What was my urine color saying? And to check kidney health, 2 main tests. My urine, my kidneys, my blood. The first and what we've noticed is that when it comes to using urine, a small protein found in the urine is actually more sensitive than using blood. And for us as black people, that shows earlier than waiting for those signs in the blood. So today, please do come and have a look. All we need is your urine, and we would find out if there is any protein in it. It doesn't mean that you have kidney disease. What it means is that you may even have an infection, and we work with you and your GP to make sure that we promote your optimal kidney health. Next slide, please. And I think the rest of my slides have been gone through for me already. Next slide, media. Inside the kidney itself, I call it a very tight gate, which means that only substances which are very small can pass through, which comes in your urine. But once the kidney tissue itself is damaged, this protein that we're talking about is called albumin. It's not meant to be seen in the urine. We will find it in the urine if the kidney tissue is damaged. Next slide, please. So I heard about water. That is all we have to do. Somebody will say, Rosalind, how about coffee? Water. How about tea? Water. How about juice? Water. How about champagne? Water. Occasionally we can have that. But shall I say that all the kidney wants from us is water and nothing else? All the body needs from us is water and nothing else. 60% of our body is water. Basically, that is it. Okay. Next slide, please. I will not go through this plate again because this plate has been gone through for us. But the key emphasis is what is on my plate, what time am I having dinner? And I would like to link food size, portion size with my brain. Those of us who were brought up in Africa, we ate as a community. And I still remember myself eating from the same plate with my sisters. So we had a bigger plate. But now I am here alone. Hey, Rosalind, this plate in front of you alone. How many hands are going in this plate? Please, let's be mindful and ask ourselves, do I have this fist size of carbohydrate, starchy food? Because you know what? The more we take in, the more the body is going to conserve that, and then we are going to gain weight. The rest, I think, has been gone through for me. But what I would like to add is that my mindset, again, plays a significant role. So assuming that I have just shown you a glass with some amount of water in it, what do we see? And this is a question I ask people a lot of time. What do we see? I have a glass and I have water in it. What do we see? A glass of water. Okay? And sometimes some people will say it's half empty. Some people will say it's half full. Today I want to disabuse your mind. The glass has always been full. The glass has always been full. What is inside is half water, half air. The glass has always been full. There is nothing that is beyond us. it all has to start from our mindset. And today, as Nancy said, we tell ourselves we would eat healthily, we would exercise. Those are our two main challenges. And we can do it. It's not that we cannot do it. We can do it. Thank you very much.
Yes, come on. Turn to your neighbor and say, we can do it. We can do it. And we will do it. Are you going to exercise? Are you going to live a healthy lifestyle? Okay, we will do it. We have just proclaimed that. But before we go on, please, if you came with in a white Audi LS21RXL, please can you go repark? A white Audi LS21RXL or a black Mercedes-Benz T7AYO. Please go and repark. Please. All right. We'll move on now. Thank you very much. In fact, I can attest to everything you've said here today.
You can have 1,000 problems in life until you have a health problem. And then you only have one. Everything else, money, relationships, stress, fades away in the shadow of it. Suddenly, the things you once worried about seem so small because nothing else matters when your body or mind is screaming for help. Health isn't just something you have. It's everything. It's the ability to wake up and feel alive, to move freely, to laugh without pain, to breathe without struggle.
And when I try to share it with people, like, Tola, are you sick? Is something wrong with you? I'll be like, maybe I should eat more then so that I can look, chubby. Hallelujah. All right, we'll move on. We have this very interesting exercise for us now. I'm not going to be facilitating that. I want to call on the facilitators. Please, can I have Lillian Ajayi, and she's going to introduce Jade properly. Lillian Ajayi is a senior manager, NHS, and the founder of Nurses Corner. Please put your hands together for Lillian. And you're going to introduce your partner.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today. And I've got with me Jade. So my name is Lillian, and I am the founder of Nurses Corner UK, and I'm an adult nurse by background, also a ward manager. Matron Nancy was my mentor, was my matron, and I'm so grateful to be here today. So I'll pass it over to Jade. I've got a stand over there, by the way, if you want to know more about Nurses Corner, what we do. We're basically mentoring the future generation of nurses. We know we all need nurses. We need people who will continue, who are passionate about the career as well, and who wants to career develop themselves as well. So I'm there to support you.
Yeah. So hello, everyone. My name is Jade. I'm Jade Bajar from St. Helier Hospital. I'm also one of the clinical manager there. And I was also once a past lecturer in the Philippines. So I'm just grateful that Matron Nancy, she's also my mentor in St. Helier. She invited me here in the seminar, so I'm just grateful and just having a good time today. I hope you all too are enjoying. Yeah, okay.
So we're going to be testing how much you guys have been listening today. So I've got some quiz, and I've got a present for whoever wins. So the top three, basically. So let's see how much you guys have been listening, because this is all about what you guys have been talking about. And I know it's been a lot of education, but let's see how much you're taking. So my first question. So what is considered a normal blood pressure reading for adults? 160 over 100? 120 over 80? 90 over 50? 140 over 90? No. I need one person, and the first person, basically. Yes?
I've got the mic.
120 over 80. Thank you. All right, my next question. So, which of these common early symptoms is of diabetes? Sudden weight gain, increased thirst and frequent urine, blurry vision at night, only at night, persistent sneezing. So, yes?
Increased
thirst. Okay. Which of these is a common early symptom of diabetes? sudden early weight gain, increased thirst, and frequent urination, blurry vision only at night.
You can have 1,000 problems in life until you have a health.
Who said C? Who said C? Okay, no answer?
It's a B.
Okay.
It's a B.
Anyone else? Okay, all right.
B.
Okay, my next question.
You can have 1,000 problems in life.
What does BMI stand for? Okay.
It's a B.
Okay, all right. Next question. I'm trying to pick top 3 people, basically. So it's the fastest person, and I'm keeping my eye on who is the best person, basically. Sorry? No, one person. One person picks up.
Sorry. Whoever we give a mic.
Okay,
yeah,
all right.
So make life easy. We'll see their hands.
So this lady is my top one at the current moment. And then that lady also, the lady with the haircut with the, so she's given an answer already, actually. So I'm going to the fourth one now. I'm trying, but I can't keep my eye on everyone. Sorry. So, which of these foods is best for maintaining kidney health? Salty crisps, sugary drinks, fresh fruit and vegetable, fast food and burgers.
Fresh fruit. Fresh fruit.
I need an answer. One person.
Okay, I did. I said fresh fruit.
Fresh fruits and vegetables. All right. Thank you for that. My next question. What is one of the best ways to improve your mental health? Ignoring stress and bottling up your emotions, getting regular exercise and enough sleep, watching TV all day, avoiding social media interaction.
Getting getting more regular exercise and getting more sleep.
Okay, thank you for that. Oh, God. Okay. So men and women have the same health risk concern. True or false?
False.
Thank you. Which of these activities can help maintain a healthy weight? Sitting for long hours without breaks, regular exercise and balanced diet.
Regular exercise.
Okay, all right. I don't know, I can't see. All right, what is the best way to measure if you're drinking enough water? So let's see who was listening to Sister Rosie. Best way.
You're in color.
Okay, thank you. What does a blood sugar check measure? Let's see who was listening to the diabetes specialist. Vera. What does a blood sugar check measure? What does your blood sugar measure? Who spoke now?
Capillary glucose.
Thank you for that. And this is my last question. Which of these is a great way to stay active? Taking the stairs instead of the lift? Okay. All right.
The stairs.
That's my answer. Yeah. All right. She got the answer. Thank you so much. So my winner is the lady at the back. I've got 3 people. Well, they're passing the mic. I'm sorry. Okay. We've still got. All right, Jade.
Don't worry. It's a Nigeria high neck.
I'm sorry. Thank you. It's nice to have you here. I hope you enjoy it. And who's the next person?
You can have 1,000.
Victoria. I didn't even see her answer the question. Huh? So Yvonne, yes. And then the third one, yeah. So she was the second. Thank you so much. You look gorgeous, by the way. I hope you enjoy it. And the last one goes to... Thank you. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy.
Then how come I didn't get a gift? I answered one. He said, what food should we eat to be healthy? I said, burger. So how come I didn't get one? All right, still, if you came in an Audi WU70HZY, please, you need to repark. Whose car is that, please? Okay, thank you. All right. Yes. Well, moving on now to another very interesting aspect of this seminar. And she's one of our own as well. She's been here, I think this should be her third time, second. She's talking about oh, okay. All right, Indra, it's your first time here. Yes. And she's talking about nutrition. Yes, nutrition, what to eat. What are we going to be eating? Is it the burgers? Is it the fizzy drinks? Yes, I'm not a specialist in this area. So she's going to be doing that with Teju. Teju is a nutrition, Teju, yes, is a nutritionist as well. And she's going to introduce herself. And Indra, we have your media introduction. Media, please, are you ready for Indra? So maybe after your session, we could do another quiz about what food should we eat to avoid maybe diabetes, especially for people like us who like eating a swallow. Is it part of what you're going to tell us, Indra? Tell you, am I allowed to eat? You said I'm allowed to eat anything anyway, but in moderation. Well, what is moderate to you might not be moderate to me anyway, so I don't know.
Our next guest is Indra Soppers.
My feast.
She is a registered dietitian. She's working as a renal dietitian in London. She is a guest speaker in a nutrition seminar at School of Health Sciences in Lera. She enjoys cooking, running, and traveling. Please let's make welcome Indra Soppers.
Can you hear me? Now it's working. Okay. As I said, my health is my life. If for some reason you are here today all together, and I hope so we can get the main thing, which is the food. How food will affect all of us overall. Next slide, please. So that's just the topics I was about to cover. Some of them, they have already been covered. Thank you. Next slide, please. Chronic disease prevention. Are they preventable? I think so. This big question mark has already been answered. So you can prevent them. And why? Why not preventing them? Why? Next slide, please. The numbers are just going up. Why you have different? Why you are different than white population? What is happening? You are not different. You are all the same. You are all God's kids, sons and daughters. Okay? Next slide, please. All the key factors or risk factors for chronic disease, they also have already been covered. Smoking, poor nutrition, physical inactivity, excessive alcohol consumption. Why you are doing it? What's happening wrong? Next slide, please. Has been already covered. Why happens also with all BAME population? Again, we're not different. Next slide, please. Speaking a little bit about nutrition. So I need to give you a little bit biochemistry. There is no way to speak about nutrition without a little bit biochemistry. So you have 3 major groups of macronutrients, okay? Macro means big. Big misconception. You need them in quite good amounts, milligrams or liters in case of the water, okay? We need to understand what to do with the body. Has already been covered. We know already what carbohydrates are. Carbohydrates are first line of energy. It's something in which the body will use as a first. The sister represents very well in terms of carbohydrates conversion into glucose, and that is the molecule size. Glucose is very small molecule, can travel through the body, but glucose needs to be in the right place. Otherwise, if the glucose is not in the right place, we'll start to cause some problems, such as type 2 diabetes. And you have higher prevalence in BAME population of type 2 diabetes. And type 2 diabetes, you cannot speak about type 2 diabetes without speaking about carbohydrates. Carbohydrates, there is a lot of misconceptions in terms of carbohydrates, the good ones and the bad ones, and you need to go through. You have then proteins, you have fats, and you have water, 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 water. That is what you should do. Drinking water, no Coke, no coffee, no Sprite, and so on. Okay? Then you have all the vitamins and minerals, so that micronutrients, meaning small. You need them in milligrams in very small quantities. But if you don't eat the right foods and the right amounts, you don't get them and you are deficient. You can be big, you can be overweight, obese, and be deficient of vitamins and minerals. And vitamin D, UK has high prevalence of vitamin D deficient among BAME population. Because you don't have enough sun to synthesize the vitamin D, and what happens? You don't eat enough food or the right food, and then you end up deficient. Next slide, please. Let's go through the carbohydrates very briefly and quickly. So you have carbohydrates everywhere. Okay, carbohydrates is impossible to don't have carbohydrates in a diet nowadays. Sorry. And you have different groups of carbohydrates, and I think where the confusion starts. Because people, they don't know how to do. Should I eat a carb-free diet? Should I don't eat carbs? What carbs I should eat? And that is an ongoing issue. Okay? Is an ongoing issue. So you have starches carbohydrates. They can be complex or simple. Okay? We do have sugars. They can be natural. So fruits has natural carbohydrates, sugar, fructose. Okay? Dairy products, for example, they also have natural sugar. Nothing wrong with this. Lactose is the sugar from the dairy products. And then some of the sugars, they are refined or processed. And I think most of the diet in the UK is based on ultra-processed foods. And then you have fiber, is also considered a carbohydrate. Some people, they don't know, but fiber is considered a carbohydrate, as a complex carbohydrate. And I think this, this slide represents a little bit what carbohydrates they are. Among the starchy carbohydrates, in which you have here, for example, your plantain, your cassava, your bananas, your sweet potatoes, or yam. So some of them, they can be complex ones, just depends the way you cook, okay? And the way you eat as well. The same will happen with your bread, okay? With your rice, with your pasta. Depends which one are they. Are you eating the white bread? Are you eating the white rice, basmati rice? Are you eating the brown basmati rice, for example? So that we need to understand. So I always say to people, all white options, they are considered refined or simple carbohydrates. And that happens because the manufacturers, they remove all the fiber, okay? They refine them, and then we end up with the type 2 diabetes. And why is that? Because the fiber in the food slows down the digestion, slows down the absorption of the sugar. Very simple. So difficult to follow or to stick with. Okay, I spoke about dairy products. Next slide, please. And then you have, I love this slide. You have the most, and I would say, diabetes-friendly type of carbohydrates, complex carbohydrates, okay? They are starches, so all your lentils, your beans, your chickpeas, they are fiber-rich foods. They are very complex. So you should have them on your plate as much you can. The same way you should have your yam, your cassava, okay? I'm not telling you don't eat them. Fruits, we know fruits, they have natural sugars, but they do have the fiber. So unlikely they will spike my blood sugar. And all these simple refined carbohydrates is a part of our diet every single day. When I was a little, because I'm quite old enough, I was having this once a month. I was just allowed to have them once a month. Now, every day. Kids are having them every day. Parents are having them every day. Some grandmothers, they will have them every day. And then we end up with what we all know. Next slide, please. What is this healthy eating? Healthy eating is very simple. If you go back 100 years ago, what my great-grandmother or my grandmother they were eating was a traditional diet. They didn't have a type 2 diabetes. They didn't have hypertension. They didn't have kidney failure. Nothing. Nothing. My grandmother, she's 86 years old. She has nothing. Nothing. Just the bones are a little bit weak because she's old. She sticks with the traditional diet, okay? What does means is eating a wide range of foods in the right proportions to achieve health and maintain your weight. If you do so, if you are overweight, you are likely to lose weight. If you are within your BMI, healthy weight, you maintain your weight over time. Okay? And then we have this beautiful plate has been today shown multiple times. Just says us the food groups you need to eat and how often you should eat. But I really don't like as much this plate, so I made it a little bit more simple. Because sometimes people, they can get overwhelmed. Okay, this is my plate, I know already. I have the vegetables group and fruits group. We all know we need to eat fruits and vegetables every day. Then I have all my carbohydrates, including the complex ones, on my plate. I'm not eating my white bread, my white chapati. I'm not eating my plantain with my sweet potato. If I eat a sweet potato, I'm not eating my plantain because my blood sugar will raise, okay? I'm not eating a rice with the beans because my blood sugar will spike. That is why I am here today. It's all about portions. It's all about portions. It's all about pairing foods and to understand if you don't do it, over time will develop the complications you all know, okay? And then you have a very, very little group of fats or spreads. I'm not talking about you don't eat a palm oil anymore. You will eat them a bit because they are saturated fat. And if you eat large quantities over time, your blood vessels, they'll get blocked. Your blood will not flow properly, and you end up with a stroke or heart attack. Yeah? You still be able to enjoy your traditional food in moderation. It's all about balance. It's all about moderation. Okay? I have African background. I have Indian background, Asian, and I have a Portuguese background. So I eat foods from all my backgrounds. I enjoy them. I like to eat in moderation. Okay? Dairy products, we all know, sorry, you should have calcium, so we need to have an yogurt, we need to have milk. You can have a milk substitute if you don't drink a cow's milk. So I think that is not the problem. The problem always starts here. And then you have the protein. We need the protein for muscles. We need the protein for the body repair the tissues. Next slide, please. As I said, I made it simple. So I love this plate because with this plate, I know what I'm eating. So visually, you divide your plate in half. Half your plate will be your vegetables. But your vegetables here will not be your sweet potatoes, will not be your yam, will be your green vegetables, okay? Yeah, understand? Because rooted vegetables, they'll fall in this category. Starches. That is the tricky thing. Because if I fill my plate here with my cassava and my plantain, what I will eat here? Possibly rice. Well done. And then I'm overeating my carbohydrate intake. Yeah. And then you have protein. A protein, we don't need the larger portions. I always say, a size of my hand. Enough. Lunch and dinner. Yeah? It's not like I feel tower, building up the protein intake. Because also, over time, it will affect your kidneys. Next slide. Take a message. Very simple. Balanced diet. Eat in moderation, all the food groups. Stay active as much you can. Move as much you can, obviously. Limit the alcohol consumption once in a while. Quit smoking. Adequate sleep. And don't forget, you are 60-70% of the body made up of water. Carries oxygen, carries the nutrients. If I'm not giving my body enough water, my body won't work properly. And thank you. Next slide. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Andrea. There'll be time for questions and answer. But still on nutrition, would just like to have another facilitator, and she's Teju Oyegoke. Teju is a lecturer at the New City College, London, and she has worked as a teacher and trainer within the public and private sectors, working in collaboration with Public Health England and the Royal Borough of Greenwich. And she has also delivered a taste of health cookery clubs in various community centers across the Greenwich Borough. Please put your hands together for Teju. For some reasons, for health reasons, she will be sitting down while a slide will be showing. Thank you very much. Over to you.
Hello, good morning or good afternoon, everybody. I'm glad to be here, and thank you for having me. Today, I'm going to be talking about nutrition, and my topic is flavor, not high salt. So in our food, what we want is flavor, not high salt. Can I have the slides?
So while we're waiting for the slides to come up, please, if your car registration number is R2WWM, please, you will need to repark. R2WWM, please. I think the slides are ready.
Okay, thank you. Next slide, please. This statement is very important for my session, so I'll just leave it there for a few seconds. Please read and put it in the back pocket, like we say. We're going to need it. So I'll leave it for a few seconds. Please read and hold it. Okay, thank you. Savor the flavor, not the sodium, i.e. salt, to the common man. This statement is very important. If this is all you take away from my session today, this will be a good outcome. But I know that there's going to be a couple more nuggets. So let's get started. Next slide, please. So the session, the outcome will be to be equipped with simple action nuggets for better nutrition. And how are we going to get there? We're going to answer the questions what, why, and how. Next slide, please. So, what about salt? A few key facts about salt. Now, I start with the first one. As an adult, the maximum daily intake, when you've eaten your breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks in between, the maximum intake daily for an adult is 6 grams, which is equivalent to 1 level teaspoon. Now, salt is naturally occurring in a lot of the foods that we eat. So even before you start cooking or adding anything, salt already exists in a lot of things. So for example, the cheeses, smoked products, pickled veg, soy sauce, and so on and so forth. All these things already have salt in them. Now, 75% of that 6 grams, we already have it from packaged food. So if you think about your cereals, if you think about your biscuits, bread, already contains salt. So before you even start cooking, 75% intake is already ready-made for us. So that shows us it's easy how the salt gets into our diet. So again, remember, salt is a flavor enhancer, not the flavor. So when we're eating our food, it's flavor we want, not salt. Next slide, please. Now, why reduce salt? I'm very grateful to the people who have spoken ahead. Now, high salt will lead to high blood pressure, and high blood pressure long-term can lead to other health issues, affecting our heart, affecting our kidneys. So we know that already. Next slide, please. So the next question, now how? We know salt is not good for us. High salt is not good. We need to reduce it. How do we go about reducing it? It starts, first of all, with awareness and acceptance. If we're unaware that we need to cut it, or we're in denial that we need to cut it, that's going to be difficult. So it starts with awareness and then acceptance. Second, we need to be deliberate. It's not automatic. We need to be deliberate. What do I mean? Deliberate about our cooking habits, our eating habits, what goes into our shopping basket. We need to be deliberate. Next thing to know is we need a bit of patience. Okay? Thankfully, averagely, every 2 weeks, we have new taste buds. So if you stick with a habit long enough of cutting down salt in our diet, if you stick with it over 2 weeks, for example, by that time, you have a new taste buds. And for your new taste buds, the reduced salt is a new normal. So you wouldn't miss it. You'll be like, this is the normal thing. The next thing is we need to be realistic and sustainable. What do I mean? Now, say, for example, you cook this dish with usually a tablespoon of salt. Now, bearing in mind, a level teaspoon is the maximum a day, so that's a lot. But just for the sake of analogy, if this pot of dish, you normally cook it with a tablespoon of salt, then a sustainable and realistic action would be gradual reduction. So you can cut down to 3/4 of a tablespoon and cut down and cut down. Now that way, it's not too drastic. That way is realistic. If you do a sudden cut from 1 tablespoon to half, you will miss it. You will crave it, and then you will ditch it. You say, I can't do this. Yeah, so we need to be realistic, and we need to be sustainable in the actions that we take. Remember, flavor, not salt. So where do we get the flavor from then? We substitute salt with herbs and spices. Locust bean, iru, you can put that in your food. Yeah? Dried fish, garlic, lemon juice, black pepper, etc. Whatever you like, whatever herbs and spices you like in your diet, put that. Let that be the source of your flavor, not salt. Okay? And then lastly, just to reinforce the previous point. Bearing in mind that salt is the flavor enhancer, not the flavor, be generous on the other things that we've talked about. The herbs and spices, your iru, your dried fish, your black pepper, whatever you like, be generous in adding that to your cooking. But very little salt, because the salt is just a flavor enhancer, not the flavor. So before I round up, if you look at these bullet points here, can I ask just for each 1 minute, each person have a look. Which one, just one, which one do I think is doable for me? Which one can I take away as my simple action nugget from today's session? Yeah? So just think about it individually, you know. Or if people want to, yeah, just think about it, each person, because it will vary from one person to another. So look at it. Which one is this one? This one, I think I can do this. Because remember, we need to choose things that are realistic and sustainable. Yeah? So what I can do is going to be different from what No can do, for example, or what Indira can do. So you have a look there and say, which one is sustainable? Which one can I do? Which one will work for me? Yeah? Have we all done that? Yeah. Yes? Okay. So my call to action today will be that one nugget that you've taken, share it with your friends, share it with your family. Next slide, please. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much to all of our speakers today. We'll have the questions and answers at the end of the whole seminar. But I really appreciate that. And my take-home from that is I'll be deliberate. It's not automatic. Slow and steady wins the race. Thank you once again. All right, please, I don't know if Councillor Lade Olugbemi is in the house today. Councillor Lade Olugbemi from Thamesmead, is she here? Okay. All right, or do we have any other councillor in the house today? Got the center's messages that they will be coming. All right. While we'll wait for them, we'll move on to our next facilitator. And she will be speaking on health fitness. My body, my health fitness shift. She is a fitness coach, a juicy therapist, and a menopause practitioner. I'm sure many of us would love to listen to this session. Media, are we ready for our next speaker? She's going to explain to us how we can keep our body and be healthy.
Yinka Omishore, the forward-thinking founder and principal coach of HGCC, brings extensive expertise in fitness, nutrition, menopause coaching, and juicing therapy. With over 2 decades of experience as a wellness educator, she possesses a profound understanding of the challenges encountered during midlife. Yinka is the mastermind behind the Who Stole My Body Menopause Masterclass and has empowered individuals nationwide to achieve their wellness aspirations through Juicy Fit Lifestyle. She conducts lively online fitness sessions in the early morning hours to support her clients. Additionally, Yinka has contributed as a health columnist for a London church magazine and has been recognized as a healthy lifestyle specialist. She holds qualifications as a trained clinical nutritionist, juicing therapist, and menopause and fitness coach. Outside of all her professional endeavors, she is a devoted mother and an enthusiastic reader in her leisure time. With a standing ovation, please welcome on stage our juicing therapist, Yinka Omishore.
right, good afternoon, everyone, and it's a pleasure to be here again. Again, I'm in awe of all the speakers that have spoken. I don't take it for granted. So as in my style, as we did last year, you know, we've all been sitting down and we've been listening to all these lectures, right? I'm of the opinion that, yes, we get education, but also need transformation. Right, so if you can please indulge me, let's stretch those, you know, those muscles. Yeah, you know what's coming, right? Let's talk more action. Okay, so if you put your hands just above your belly button, I want you to take a deep breath in. And when I say breathe in, I don't want to see shoulders going up like that. I want you to, this is the one time you're allowed to have a pot belly, yeah? So you want to breathe in deeply through your nose while expanding the diaphragm, the stomach. And when you breathe out, you can go back to a flat stomach, yeah? So let's try it out. Hands just above the belly button. Take a deep breath in. And out. Deep breath in. And out. One more time. Deep breath in. And out. Excellent. So let's put our hand. I'm going to put the microphone away. Okay, sorry. Was that me? I apologize. So let's bring your hands to the side. Let's shrug the shoulders. You can hear me loud and clear, right? Good, good, good. Okay, and in the opposite direction. We're getting those muscles moving so that we are able to listen to the rest of the talk today. Great. All right, hands to the side. Now I want you to lean over without elbowing your neighbor. Look up to the ceiling. Keep going. A few more of this. Stretch. Yes, exactly. You got muscles there. Let's use that. A few more. 3. 2. And 1. Okay, while we're standing, let's just move those feet.
It's getting effect from outside.
Jump a little bit. That's
Someone
it.
has touched mine.
A few more. Excellent. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Well done. Give ourselves. How we feeling? We feel a little bit more alive now, right? Yes. Okay, let's go to the boring bit. All right. So, my slides are just about happening. Anyhow, going with the theme for this year says my health, my life. Now, I like us to be a little bit interactive, yes? So when you saw that, what came to mind? Anybody? My health, my life. Sorry? Okay, shout it out. Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Yes? It's important. Taking over, important. Yes, somebody else here? Take control, yeah? Intentional. That's it. Thank you very sorry, sir, you were going to say something. Absolutely. Thank you for that. You're all correct. One more, yes. Fantastic. And that's the word I was really looking for. But everything you said, you know, captures that word responsibility. It's your responsibility and mine to look after our health. And I think everybody that stood up here today have pretty much said that. Okay? Next slide, please. Now, to be responsible for something, we need to understand the something. Okay? There's been talk about our kidneys. Amazing. We're fearfully and wonderfully made. Did you know that when it comes to your heart beats about 100,000 times a day? That's over 35 million times a year without you and I even thinking about it. Isn't that awesome? Our bones, my goodness. When I saw that, I was like, what? 5 times stronger than steel of the same density. I mean, was God intentional or what? Next slide, please. So your skin, I said, you know, you're born again and you're born again. 27 days, you have a new layer of skin. Our stomach lining has the strongest acid ever. That's why it keeps regenerating or renewing every few days. And your body, as you've heard it, minimum about 60% to 70% water. And your little finger, can you imagine? Is responsible for 50% of the strength of the hand. Isn't that awesome? Let's take a few seconds and just digest that. That's why I said, for us to be responsible for this temple, we need to understand, and this is Anatomy 101 right here. Let's think about it. We have our bones, our heart, our skin renewing every 27. I mean, it's awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Next slide, please. So, we said, like I said before, everything that's been mentioned is really about our responsibility. And just to take a quote from the Bible, it says, 1 Corinthians 6:19-20 says, "Do you not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit within you, whom you have from God? You are not your own, for you were bought with a price. So glorify God in your body." And when Nancy spoke earlier, she talked about sustainable lifestyle, our responsibility. And somebody else also mentioned it. When we make those little changes, they become, big impact. So let's start small. Like my sister just talked about reducing our salt. So being deliberate, okay? It's about the flavor, not the salt. Okay, those are some of the responsibilities that we have. Next slide, please. So, looking at our responsibility, care and responsibility, the concept of the body being a temple implies, again, the word responsibility. And if you take nothing away from what I'm going to share today, remember, you are responsible for your body, you're responsible for your health. I apologize, I'm backing the people here. So, it is for us to treat it with respect, avoid behaviors that could harm or diminish its sacredness. Having that holistic approach to looking after ourselves. I like quoting a lady centuries ago, Ellen G. White, talking about health is not a matter of chance. It is our obedience to the laws that governs our health. And some of these laws have been mentioned today about reducing stress, making sure we're getting enough sleep, drinking, exercise, what we just done now, having at least 30 minutes of moderate intensity exercise over the course of the week. So you're looking at 150 if you're doing it 5 days a week. If you're doing 60, well, that's 180 minutes a week. Next slide, please. Okay, so a lot has been said about nutrition, which is, I'm not going to go too much into nutrition. I'll just talk a little bit about, exercise. And one of the things when it comes to exercise, you're exercising your whole body. It's not just about the body. It's not just about you wanting to lose the weight, wanting to stay a certain weight. Exercise does so much more than that. Mentally, it helps. It's increasing what we call those happy hormones. You feel good. I mean, you probably know that if you do go to the gym, there are days like, oh, I can't be bothered. But as soon as you go and you've done it, you feel great. What is that? If just for that feeling, I run a class in the morning, 5 a.m., by the way, rather early for most, but hey, it works. It works for some of us. But there are days I'm like, I really don't want to do it. But then you get up, you do it, because you owe yourself, and of course, you're accountable to all the people that come to the class, and you feel great afterwards. You set the tone for the day. So the health, with us maintaining a good weight, also helps us mentally. Or, mentally, I mean emotionally. So if we're not exercising, find something that you enjoy doing, something like dancing. When we're younger, we will skip, we will run. Go back to that. And I know as we're getting older, there are issues that come up with the joints, but you can sit down on your chair and exercise and break a sweat. Yeah? Those ones where you sit down and you're raising your leg, especially for those with bad knees. Lots of videos on YouTube that you can help yourself to. So there's no excuse whatsoever. One of the ladies, I don't have a picture here. I think Shepherd is her last name. She's a oldest bodybuilder. She's in America. She didn't start weightlifting until age 71. Imagine that. And she's in her late 80s now. So there's never a bad time to start, but now. So that's my challenge to you today. Start doing something when it comes to movement, when it comes to exercise. Move the body. we have joints, we have muscles, we have bones for a reason. Not only just to look good, which is great, but we need to use it. We need to use them. They say if you don't use your muscle, you lose them. You lose them. Next slide, please. Next slide. Okay, so I'm not going to talk too much about food. We've talked about, well, just to say you are what you eat, yeah? So if you love those fast foods, and that's pretty much. And that eating is one thing we have so much control over. So let's not give our power away by eating the things we shouldn't be eating. We will give an account, when it comes to things like this, I'm like, I really don't want to go. And why do I say that? Because for everything we eat, we listen to, we hear, we will be held accountable. If your body is not asking you about, oh yeah, you heard that message the last time, we will give an account. So again, let's take that responsibility. Next slide, please. Next slide. Thank you. Right. Craft food. Again, we've talked about food. It's just, you have the carbonated drinks, refined sugar. They've talked about what it does to our bodies. I mean, they're fast. That's the advantage, right? Instant energy, comfort food. I don't know who put that one there. It's not fewer calories. Forget that. It's more calories that you need. It's convenient. It's tasty. Quick energy boost. I mean, who here, when you're so hungry, you feel like, oh yeah, that bar of chocolate is a great idea because it gives you that high. But no sooner you've had it, you feel like you're hungry, so, soon after that. So let's stay away from the craft foods. And of course, you have the health risk on the other, and the last column there, because it spikes your blood sugar. We've been told about diabetes, high blood pressure, and of course, our kidneys. Thank you. Next slide, please. So, beautiful. This is what we should be having. Well, some of it, but there's more of it. And because they're rich in the nutrients that we need, omega-3 fatty acids, it's good for our heart health, antioxidant. Your skin is lovely. You look younger than your age. What's there not to love? And when we're talking about, healthy eating and exercise, I've mentioned about using the YouTube, sitting on your chair, doing exercise, so that those are sustainable habits that you can use. Now, there's so many gadgets you can use for cooking. We have some of them over there. Have a look. If you're like me, you don't like spending time in the kitchen, juicing comes to... I like juicing. I like making smoothies because it's quick, right? And I get that. And of course, you have a gadget like some of the ones over there. It's also... It helps you. It helps you to eat right. Thank you. Next slide, please. I think I'm coming to the end. Again, just one thing on this. It's been shown that a sedentary or inactive life is as bad as loneliness, I think. If I got that right. Yeah. So, move. End of. Next slide, please. Okay, this is just, we can come to the table. I think my time is up now, and I can talk about this to whoever is interested. So thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Did we enjoy that session? Yes. Need to exercise. And if you don't... Okay. I have a question. Since you said if you don't like spending time in the kitchen, you can just juice it. Can I juice my amala? You want me to try it and let you know? You are the teacher here, so you try it and say to us that, oh, it's okay, you can do it. People have started juicing gari. Yes. You put your raw gari, put your granite, put your ice block. No, don't put sugar. From what we've heard today, don't put sugar. And then you just drink it. I think I'll try that. All right, so now, the final one, mental health. We cannot have a program like this and not talk about mental health. And to talk about that is Dr. Mami Adeyileka. I hope I got that right, though. Perfect. Oh, my. That's from Ghana, right? Okay. I think I'm learning. And she will be talking to us about mental health. And she'll be doing this with Gloria, Gloria Nwande Aga. This is supposed to be from Nigeria. Did I get it right, though? Oh, my, spot on. Oh God, I'm just too good. Now, is that from Igbo land? Ghana? No. Igbo. Nwande Aga. No, it must be Igbo. All right, thank you. Okay, are we ready, media, for the media introduction of Dr. Mami Adeyileka?
Dr. Mami Adeyileka is an apostle in the marketplace, a communications expert, and a leadership strategist who provides biblical solutions to modern challenges. She is the author of Speak Up, Speak Out, a book that is regarded as a holy grail for cutting-edge strategies on how to influence, advocate, and navigate difficult conversations. Please welcome on stage Dr. Mami Adeyileka.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, media, shall we start, please? Whilst we wait for media, Yinka, thank you for making us stretch a little bit. And you touched on some of the things I want to say, and I think all the speakers have sort of touched on some of the things I'll say as well. So we're in a good place. Brief, quick and sweet. Who likes that? Amazing. Let's do this, media, please. Okay, whilst we are still waiting for the media, let me tell you this story. When I came to the UK to study, and then along the line, I got pregnant with my third and fourth. Now, one of the questions that the midwives would always ask me when I go in after a delivery was my mental health. And I'm like, I'm fine. I just didn't want to hear that question. Because for me, I equated mental health with mental illness. And for many of us, that's the stigma we associate with mental health, so we would rather not talk about it. And it was actually in the baby groups that they recommended that I go that I realized that I'm not the only one who is struggling with feeling a little bit down as a mom and the struggles. I thought, oh, this is normal. And I was asking myself, how was I able to cope in my earlier pregnancies? Because I didn't have that. In Ghana, nobody asks you that, how you're dealing with your mental health. But I think the thing with Ghana is that because of the family support and community, it's easy. You don't feel that stress. You don't have to bear the burden alone. So I think the first thing that I want us to debunk our minds, again, going back, whose point was the mindset? All begins in the mind. So one of the speakers was mentioning that is the mindset. We need to be comfortable with talking about mental health. And you might wonder, what is place in your health? If you are in a state of mind that doesn't help you to deal with the stresses of life, are you living a healthy life? I wonder, do you think that's a healthy life? No. So again, whilst we are waiting for the media, just a quick definition of what mental health is, and WHO defines it as a state of well-being that enables an individual to cope with life stresses, learn well, and contribute to our communities. We've heard here this afternoon that the challenges that face us as BAME, I don't particularly like the term BAME, but for this afternoon, let's use it. The challenges that we face as people of this background, nobody can solve them for us. we can. And if we want to contribute and make that meaningful contribution, we need a good mental health. Media, are we ready? Oh. So does this count towards my time or not? That's a legitimate question, isn't it? You compensate. Okay. But that's what I think I'm still talking about. Yes, and I think the first slide I wanted to touch on was the fact that you don't have control of what someone does to you or what happens in your environment. What you have control over is how you respond. And that's a choice we can all make. You know, Yinka told us about exercising to get our body in shape, prevent diabetes, high blood pressure. Now, yes, this is my favorite slide. Because although I liked the beautiful thing that the media put up, I think, did he mention that I have 4 beautiful children? I'm a mentor. You can see me, these are my favorite fitness coaches, Kukua. And they were in London, and I'm like, I have to be there. So I was there, and I'm training to be a Zumba instructor as well. So that's how much I love exercise. And that's the son that I had whilst I was doing my PhD. So I call him a doctor, you know. And my book, and I love life, I love traveling. You know, those are some of the things I do to take care of me. So whilst you're listening to me, I want you to be thinking about and answer the question, how do I take care of me? Next slide, please, media. Yes, I've already mentioned this, that you can't control what happens to you, but you can definitely control your attitude towards what happens to you. And it's Brian Tracy who says that. So back to my point, that mental health is a daily. It's not something we can do today and go and sleep on it and not do it again. It's a daily, not a once-a-year checking, not the once-a-year medical checking we are going to do today. We have to check in with our mental health daily. You need to make it a priority. Like the way we know we have to eat breakfast, lunch, supper, and all the snacks in between. Mental health has to be on that list as well. Now, the empowerment to be able to take care of our mental health begins with awareness. We've talked about awareness, so I won't go there. Now, the right perspective can shift everything. The understanding that mental health is not a stigma, it's not a disease, it's not something that we should shy away from talking about, can shift everything and open us up to the advantages and the possibilities that await us if we actually prioritize this. Next slide, please, media. Yes, so why does this matter? Now, this report says that 1 in 5 adults experience mental illness each year. And they're using mental illness here to refer to depression, the anxiety, and all those sort of things that can come about if we don't take care of our mental health. Now, I love this WHO quote. It says, mental and physical health are inseparable. They are one thing. You can't detach them from the other. It says there is no health without mental health. So if you take nothing away from everything I'm saying, just keep that at the back of your mind, that there is really no health without mental health. Media, can we? Thank you. Okay. So now, let's look at why do we need to be paying attention to this? We are living in post-COVID era, and we all know the issues that came with COVID. And in fact, it says that mental health cases have significantly increased since the pandemic. And it's as a result of all the insecurities, the challenges that COVID brought, and we are still recovering from that. And many are suffering silently due to the stigma or lack of access. And we, our community, we are the ones who associate the stigma to mental health. So we need to change that. Now, so here, mental health, I'm saying, deserves equal footing with physical health. So if you're going to the gym, you're eating well, let your mental health have that same importance in your schedule and in your day. Media, next slide. Okay, and as well, I mean, going back to the pandemic and the consequences of the pandemic, job losses, so financial strain, and the people from the BIM community, we are the ones who have been most affected by this. No wonder it shows that when it comes to mental health issues, we are more affected than our white colleagues. Now, the other issues that we have to deal with, discrimination, racism, all those things have a negative effect on our mental health. And we are confronted with these things on a daily basis. You don't have to go looking for it. They come looking for you. They are there. Almost like cobwebs that are hiding, and sometimes you just walk and you're like, oh, I just walked into a cobweb, you know. So the lower income communities like us face greater mental health challenges, and that mental health is closely tied to daily living conditions. So if there's little money to go around in the home, it will result in stress, and that affects your mental health. Next slide, please, Vidya. Yes. So what are some of the red flags? What should we be paying attention to? So like I said, early recognition, and just like diabetes and hypertension, early recognition leads to early intervention. Now, many mental health issues, they begin subtly. So it's not like headache when you have a brain tumor and your head would ache. Sometimes you don't even notice that they are there, but they are hidden. They are not conscious. They are almost like they are unconscious. Now, regular self-checks supports prevention. So what are some of the red flags? Feeling disconnected or withdrawn. Loss of interest in your hobbies or your relationships. All these are red flags. Persistent sadness, hopelessness, or low mood. If you're having this persistently, it's telling you something. Pay attention to your mental health. Fatigue, inability to sleep or oversleeping. Appetite changes. Irritability or difficulty concentrating. If you're experiencing any of these things, you should have a conversation with someone. There's a lot of support. Don't keep it to yourself. Like I said, let's turn away from the stigma. Next slide, media. I think the next slide is the stigma one. Okay, so what's the cost of neglect? Now look at that. Untreated mental health illness costs the global economy $1 trillion each year in lost productivity. If you remember the definition of mental health I was given at the beginning, WHO, who remembers? State of well-being that enables an individual to cope with life's challenges, learn well, work productively, and contribute. So if our mental health is wrong, this is the cost. $1 trillion each year in lost productivity. So we need to do something about this. Do we all agree? And do we all commit to doing something about this? Do we all commit? Media, next slide, please. Yes, so I'm just going to leave you with 3 tools, 3 things you can start doing that would help you take care of your mental health. So your morning routines. Begin each day with intention. Meditate, stretch, read something uplifting, listen to something uplifting. Don't begin your day with Facebook. That's not being intentional. Because you go and see a colleague who's had 4 children like myself and still looks like this, and you compare yourself to that person and you feel depressed. So at the beginning, Brian Tracy said that we can't control what happens around. We can control how we respond. Now, if you want to respond well, you need to begin the day right. Don't let the media begin the day for you. Choose how you want your day to go. You remember Job? God asked Job, have you commanded the day? So set that. Yes, it begins in the morning. Simple morning routine. Now, the 3-minute journal. Write 3 things you are grateful for. Life, your children, you have a job, you have a place to put your head, you are healthy, you have a healthcare system that can support you. These are all things you are grateful for. Now, the beauty of it is that whilst you are doing that, you're rewiring your brain. You are training your brain to focus on the positivity or the positive things in your life rather than the negative. Because it's very easy. If I should ask you, tell me about your strengths and weaknesses, it's likely that you're going to begin with your weaknesses rather than your strengths. So just writing, practice gratitude. And I just take a minute and say, God, I'm grateful for life. I am grateful for now. I'm grateful for this opportunity. I'm grateful I met Matron Nancy, sorry, and I'm grateful for all of you who are here this afternoon. Gratitude. Move your body. Like Kukwa would say, move your boomsy. Move. A 20 minutes walk can boost your mood better than all the medications that they would give you for this. So we can set our day in motion. I think my final slide now. Okay. Media. Yes, I've talked about the stigma. So let's go on to the final slide, please. Yes, your daily mental upgrade. I've said some of these things already. Let it be on your calendar. What gets scheduled gets done. Schedule your mental health practices and stick to it. Now, if you schedule it and you don't stick to it, you are telling your brain that it shouldn't take you serious. Consistency is the key here. Keep doing it. Limit the social media. Set boundaries. So mental health is health. My last slide. Check in with yourself and your loved ones. Practice one small act of care today. Okay? I think that's it from me. Media, the last slide. Questions we'll take later, but it's just a cue. Yeah. If you loved anything I said and you want to hear or get more into my space and get some of this energy, can I please have the last slide? Yes, you can just scan the code and then you connect with me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mami. And just in case, we have all of your email addresses. So Dr. Nancy has promised that we will send all of the slides to anyone who indicates. If you want, please just let her know, and then the slides will be sent to you. Okay, still on mental health. Thank you very much, Dr. Mami. And I got something there. Command your day. Don't wake up in the morning and the next thing is to reach out for your phone to go on Facebook, TikTok, or... Yeah. Oh, you're here tomorrow morning as well. Oh, that's great. Excellent. So we'll hear more of that. Okay, still talking on the mental health situation. I've got Gloria Nwanje Agba. And Gloria is a lead nurse in education at Epsom and St. Helier University Hospitals NHS Trust, where she plays a very important role in shaping the next generation of healthcare professionals. In addition to this leadership role, Gloria is a guest lecturer at Kingston University, where she teaches nursing ethics. Our expertise in medical law and professional practice enhances our academic contributions, equipping future nurses with a strong ethical and legal foundation. Please put your hands together as I bring on stage Gloria Nwanje Agra.
Thank you so much for having me here today. It's a privilege to be here to speak to all of you. I think I've enjoyed myself so much. I'm hearing and I'm learning, but I think I need to switch things a little bit because I feel like everything we've learned today is all about education. So I will be looking at self-care in education. So we'll see how that goes. So I think Yinka have kind of shown us a bit of physical exercise. Now we're going to do a bit of mental exercise. Okay, so when we talk about some type of ethics, so we're going to have a bit of ethical dilemma this minute. So you can give me your answers, because sometimes when we're thinking about healthcare, we're thinking about decision-making. When we're thinking about education, we're thinking about decision-making. Sometimes we're reluctant, oh, can we do this or can we not? But then you have some ethical questions that will kicking you going. So let me give you a question. So 2 of your friends have birthday on the same day, the same time. Which one would you attend to? You have to. You have to attend to one of the birthdays. So which one? One lives in North London, the other lives in South London. Which of them would you attend to? Okay, so we're thinking, whilst you're on that, another question. A friend gives you the maths question, okay? Knowing that you're not that good at maths. And if you don't take that question, you will fail. But then if you take that question, you're cheating. Which one would you take? So we're doing mental thinking now. So give us an answer. Yeah? Okay? So now we see that some of these things can be quite difficult when you are thinking. And that's why some of the things that have been spoken about today requires us to seriously think. And when we're thinking about mental health, we're thinking about diabetes, we're thinking about high blood pressure, all of that has an impact. And with all that in combination, we need education. And that is why we are here. Okay? So self-care in education. What does that mean, self-care in education? Everything we've learned today is education. And how do you care for yourself? How do you look after yourself? How do you think education has an impact in everything you do? We talked about mental health and physical health. They both have the same weight. And I think Doctor talked about it. All have the same weight. So when we're thinking about mental health, you think about education, you're thinking, okay, maybe when after my kids, maybe, when things are working well for me, or maybe there is always a maybe. There is always a back burner. There is always thinking that maybe it will happen. Doctor showed us when she's doing PhD with a baby. I also had a baby when I was doing my own, some of the masters and some of the programs I did. So there is never a time. So what I'm telling you today is that if you're thinking about doing any course, anything, any program, it is the right time to do it because it helps. Next slide, please. So while we're waiting, okay. So the desire to aspire, striving for excellence, how would that be beneficial to us? Why is that important? Pursuing future education, healthcare is a noble and challenging journey. As we said, some of us will have kids. I was breastfeeding. I come back from university. We know how that feels like. So sometimes when I have some of my students, oh, Gloria, I know some of them, I can see some of them here. Oh, Gloria, I have 5 kids. My life is this. This one is going on. That's why I'm late. And now they say I'm failing. And I look at them, I'm like, I do have 3 kids when I was studying. I agree with your excuses, but if I put myself in your position, you can do it. You should be able to wake up in the morning and you should be able to get on with your education and make sure it happens. So anybody watching today, you need to make sure it happens today. So success requires not just academic excellence, but also resilience and self-care. We've talked about, so I won't go into a lot of self-care because we've talked about how we need to take care of ourselves, how we need to make sure, but it's resilient. Sometimes you have babies crying, you have things happening, you have life problems, you know. Sometimes the nurses say, oh, we're too busy to sign off students. And I say, we were busy 20 years ago, 30 years ago, another 20 years we'll still be busy. There will always be an obstacle. There will always be something stopping you from getting to where you need to get to. You know, some of us have been able to educate ourselves. And we're like, wow, that looks great. But when you look at that, what I'm thinking, some of the times I look at my title is the mental impact some of those education had on me, the family. Something must sacrifice. Aspiring to be great healthcare provider means prioritizing personal well-being. Again, mental health. We need to prioritize what we do. We need to prioritize how we care for ourselves. Taking education and healthcare, you need to think about when we're, getting here, most of us have to take shower, look good, take care of ourselves, make sure. That is the same thing when we're thinking about education. None of these people that came to present to you would be presenting to you without education, without research, without understanding of, the aspect of things that you will need to learn. So it's very important that we do that. Next slide, please. Okay, so why self-care? Why is self-care in education important? I think we've talked about some of that, which everyone has mentioned as well in terms of self-care. It prevents burnout and mental exhaustion. I know Nancy and I deal with this, especially during our professional nurse advocate RCS sessions when we are discussing this with nurses that have, especially the impact of COVID-19 that have had on nurses and healthcare workers, where Nancy and I will sit and have a conversation with them and try to help them, try to lead them, try to show them how they can enhance their educational well-being as well as looking after themselves. So all these are things that, we look into. Next slide, please. I think my time is. Okay, so strategy for self-care. So time management is important. Healthy lifestyle, we've talked about that already, so I'm not going to go on to that. Stress reduction, social support. I know African community, when you think about children that are born here and children that are born in Africa, some of us born in Africa, when you think about that, the problems we have in Africa is so enormous. There you are thinking about how I'm going to get through the day, how I'm going to impress my teachers that they don't beat the hell out of me for doing almost nothing. There's so much problem that when you now come here, those problems, they don't have it. Okay? Sometimes the lecturers over there just want to fail you and you don't understand why. So there are so many problems there and people get, trying to get something to eat. But when you come here, they don't have that problem. So kids here, they have the time to think about their mental well-being. So it's very important, some of us that had kids, to know that social support, especially us Africans, will really help. Okay, so we have seeking help and assessing educational resources. In my trust, Epsom and St. Helier, we're always the education team, which I lead. We're always there supporting people, who wants to enhance their career. You can always leave your information or take my information from Nancy. I'm happy to speak to you about how you can progress your career and think about it today. Not saying, oh, let me wait for my children to be older, let me wait for this, let me wait for... Everything can be done, and you can get that support, and this is the right place for you to be, because being here, we've learned a lot, and now you can take what you learn from here and make it, you know, what will become your future pathway. Okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Gloria, for that impactful session. Self-help, mental health. Wow. Don't worry. We are going into the question and answer time now. So that all of the questions you've written down, it's time now to ask the specialists. They're here. Can I have Jade Baja? She's going to be anchoring the session. Please come. All right, you're welcome.
Okay.
Check.
So before we start with our Q&A session, I'm going to distribute this form. This is the feedback form. Please, you just have to tick. It won't take long to write. Thank you so much. So we're going to open the floor for Q&A session. In order for us, so this is the opportunity for everyone to clarify any points and deepen your understanding with the topics. So in order for us to be organized, please raise your hand, state your name and also your question. Let's start with your name, please.
Helen. Yeah, my question is, sorry, I forgot your name. Vera, okay, to do with the diabetes. Because you said that it's incurable, but I've seen a lot of information on social media that you can reverse it. So if you can reverse it, does that not mean then it's curable in a way? That's my first question. My second question is about intermittent fasting. What role does that play on being diabetic? And if you can just give a bit of advice, because I've seen a law on that as well, that if you do intermittent fasting, it can help with reversing your blood sugar. Thank you.
Thank you for your question. Yes, Vera, please.
Yeah, thank you for your question. So you did talk about curing diabetes. So when I was speaking, I did mention that you can take it to remission. So remission means you are still diabetic, but you don't need medication. You eat healthy, you exercise. That doesn't mean you are not diabetic. You are diabetic, no treatment. That is remission. People will say they've cured it. However, if you don't eat healthy and exercise, your sugars will go up again. So that is remission. Intermittent fasting, yes, I also mentioned reducing your weight by 5 kilos. Okay. Reducing your weight by 5 kilos can improve your HbA1c, the blood test we do to confirm your diabetes. And if you are to reduce it by 15 kilos, it will take you into remission. So remission, people will describe it as curing. That's fine. It means you don't need any treatment, but you are still diabetic. Yeah?
Thank you, Vera.
Hello, good afternoon. I just want to ask about the salt intake, and I know online there's a lot of things going on. Like if you can replace the salt with a pink salt or with a rock salt, it can also help to reduce the high blood pressure. And also there's also something going on. I thank God for this opportunity to ask in my own community, like the hibiscus tea that is going around, that it helps also with reducing the blood pressure. So I just want to, find out how that can support. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the question. My approach will be, I've heard people say, supplement with different types of salt. For example, they might say go for something that is half the salt, or go for something that is, instead of sodium, it has potassium in it. Now, if you want to do something that is sustainable, do something that you will not miss. So for example, we say that the taste buds changes every 2 to 3 weeks. Once you adjust your taste buds, and you're used to the lower salt intake, you enjoy your food as much as before, So, it's more of a sustainable, long-term thing. Now, the reason why I wouldn't advocate sort of like finding a different type is that people can now overcompensate. So, for example, if you say, I know this is a sugar example now. They said, half spoon. So if it's half spoon, does that mean if I use 1 teaspoon, then I cannot put 2? So people will overcompensate. So it's better to go for the choices that are more sustainable, that you won't feel as if you've lost anything. Yeah. Naturally your taste buds will adjust. It's more sustainable for you because you're not missing it, so you don't feel as if you've lost anything. I'm not in a position to comment on the hibiscus question part of it, but I hope this helps the first part in terms of looking for a different kind of salt. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I have a question here. It says some people are taking the injection to lose weight, e.g. kangaroo. What effect will these have? Manjaro, okay. What effect would these have with someone who is diabetic and someone who is not diabetic?
It's Vera. Yeah,
yes.
Please, thank you.
So Mounjaro is a very good medication for diabetes, yeah? But whatever medication you are taking, risk assessment, you need to be assessed for it. We do give it to our diabetes patients. You cannot manage diabetes if you are overweight. Weight will make your diabetes worse. It's not all about weight loss. It improves their sugar level. It makes them more sensitive to insulin. Apart from the food that we eat, our liver also secretes sugar, and this medication reduces the amount of sugar that the liver will be secreting. So if you need to go on Mounjaro, you need to be assessed for it. Right now, it's licensed to be given to type 2 patients. I know the government is thinking about giving it for weight loss to get more people into employment and all that. But the license is for type 2 diabetes patients. Yes, and I would say that it's doing magic because I've seen patients in clinic. We've started them on Mounjaro. They come back. They are losing weight. You just need to be assessed for it because just like any medication, it's got side effects. The risk of pancreatitis is there. So you need to be assessed for it, yeah? So long as you are assessed for it and it's safe for you to use, you can use it. If you go online and buy it, you don't know what you are buying. Even if you buy paracetamol online, it's not safe. You don't know what has gone into it. So Mounjaro is good. It's a diabetes injection, and it helps improve people's sugar level. It helps them lose weight. It makes food stay in your stomach for longer. So your brain thinks you have food in your stomach, you don't feel hungry, you shouldn't eat. So it suppresses their diet, and we do use it. But just you need to be assessed for it so that you can reduce the complications that may come up. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Vera. I have a question too to our dietitians because I'm diabetic. I love to eat rice. Rice is life for me. But I heard, I've seen some documentation that if you refrigerate white rice and then reheat it, it reduces the. Is that correct?
That is very tricky question. There is a lot of social media going on about rice. I don't have any data to show that. As a dietitian, I work with the data, so evidence-based. But on my practice and my experience, I don't think so. If you refrigerate the rice, will destroy or reduce the carbohydrate content. Okay. Rice is a carbohydrate. However, you can eat different sources of carbohydrates, as I explained before. You have white rice and you have brown rice.
Yeah.
Okay? If you eat, for example, a basmati rice, a white one, because the grain is longer, so your body will take long time as well to break it down, and it's very unlikely to spike your blood sugar.
Okay.
For rice lovers, if they do like basmati rice, if they enjoy the white basmati rice for diabetic population, they can obviously eat in moderation. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, I think I answered your question.
Yeah,
but
thank you.
The food structure will never change if we refrigerate or freeze it. The carbohydrate content will be there.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Anyone on this side? Does anyone want to ask question?
My name is Olu.
Hello.
I have two questions. The first one has to do with eating. We've been talking about the quantity and quality of food to eat, but nobody has really touched on the timing. When I say timing, like nurses, quite a number of us we do long day or long night. If you are going for a long day, or if you go for a long day, you come back home around 9 o'clock. And by the time you get home, you now go and balance yourself with proper food. It's not good for the body. On the other hand, if you go for night duty, to get to work early, you need to leave home maybe 6 or even earlier than 6. If you take supper or dinner at 6 o'clock, by 12 midnight, your stomach will be calling for something. How do we help to moderate the eating that it will not help us? It will not affect us. The second question has to do with the knowledge we are acquiring and the practice we see every day. We've had here many times water, coffee, water, tea, water, juice, water, everything water. But in the hospital, if this, I'm not doubting it, but then I'm querying some things there. If taking water is the appropriate thing, why is it that in the hospitals, even the sick patients, what they normally or quickly provide is either tea or coffee every time? Are we adding to their problems or we are helping them?
Yeah, such a very good point. Related to the diet, I struggle as well to do my batch cooking every weekend because it takes me too long to cook, takes me too long to put the food in containers, and takes me also long to freeze the food because sometimes my freezer is quite small. I think you all can have a healthy diet as long as we know what you are eating and also when you are eating. If you have a long shift, I'm pretty sure you also have off days. On off days, you can go to the supermarket. You can still have time to make the right choices. You still have time to buy the traditional foods instead of the convenient foods at supermarket shelves, and you still have time to enjoy them in the right quantities. I really do understand by the time you get home, your tummy is just giving a signs, okay, I need to eat something, I would eat something, which gives me comfort. But if you have already frozen your food, it takes 5 minutes to warm them up in a microwave, and you, at the end of the day or your shift, will still enjoy your food. And you are much better nourished. We don't have vitamin deficiencies. We don't have minerals deficiencies, and you are meeting nutritional requirements. What is easier is to have a burger or is to have my fufu with my vegetables. So it's just always need to play around. In regards to hospital, I'm a renal dietitian, so I'm not catering dietitian. I look after renal patients on dialysis. I also struggle with my catering dietitian colleagues to get the patients to drink a little bit more water than tea. Or renal patients, normally they don't drink coffee, but they do drink a lot of tea instead of water. So that is is an issue of NHS and the lack of public health awareness. Because my patients drinking tea or milk, they will end up to have some kind of sugar in there. So they'll end up to have some cube or 2 cubes of sugar. So that I can't unfortunately answer this question, but as a dietitian, I've been encouraging my catering colleagues to bring the water, because the water is the main hydration for the body. Did I answer your question?
I think Rose.
Just to add to what Indira has said, from all the speakers today, making health changes is not a convenient change. It's not going to be easy, you know, but we need to be deliberate about it, and it will be small changes, realistic changes. If, for example, anybody eats 5 takeaways in a week, don't expect to drop to 2. It won't happen. Aim for 4, then 3, then 2, then 1. That little movement from 5 to 4, it gives you even mental boost that, ooh, I've done something. Then you go for 3, then 2. If you want to drop from 5 to 1, it won't happen, you know. So we need to make realistic, sustainable decisions. But it's not going to be easy, but we do it one at a time. Thank you.
Thank you.
I would like to add that timing of dinner or the last meal is crucial. And I do understand that as healthcare professionals, especially nurses, sometimes we do long days and we come back home late.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I do encourage my own colleagues is that, you know, you are doing a long day, you would have time for break. So I would rather recommend you have your dinner at work. Yes, when you come home, and it's just the way our brains have been wired, that at home, I eat dinner before I go to bed. So even if I've had a bowl of amala at work and I come home, my brain will automatically switch back. Roslyn, you're at home, you've gone to the kitchen, aren't you going to bring the plate and then put something on the plate and sit down and eat? That is my brain telling me that. Now, question is, do I allow my brain to control me, or do I control my brain? Okay, sometimes my colleague will say, Roslyn, if I don't, my stomach will be growling. Fine. Roslyn, do you eat late? Yes, I do. And I would say that I do eat late. But what is on my plate would be vegetables and sardine. Because when I said up, and I said, I go to Tesco, Asda, Lidl, all I want is the mixed veg. I will have a bowl full of the mixed veg with sardine. It has carbohydrate in it, but it is less carbohydrate than if I had had rice or if I had had gari, because I like gari. So key thing is, when I close from work and I come back home, these are practical things. I'm hungry. What do? I can opt for those legumes. Sometimes I go for lentils or I go for beans. They are still carbohydrate, but the starch content in them is less than if I had gone for rice. The other thing is that when you are going for rice, and I don't know, I'm being honest here, those of us women who cook, so you have cooked the rice in the kitchen, you get a plate, you are going to dish. Majority of us will actually start tasting the rice before dishing it. And that is why I said I'm being honest here. So I've had about 2 or 3 scoops of rice already in my mouth before I am now dishing what I'm going to eat. So I have already eaten. So question is just changing, just making few changes. Women, this is one recommendation. You are cooking in the kitchen. Please don't eat. Let me, I had to learn the hard way. Let me say this. We are cooking in the kitchen. Please do not eat. And why do I say that? You see, the way our brain works, and doctor is here, the way our brain works is really funny. Our brain is very competitive with what is requiring a lot of skills from us. So when I am cooking, I am focusing on the cooking. When I put food in my tummy, my brain cannot automatically switch from the cooking to, hang on, you've put something in your stomach. So I need to now switch and see, when does the stomach get full? So my brain will be on the cooking. And how many of us do it? We eat, we don't even realize it. Or sometimes you sit in front of your computer and you have a packet of crepes or something. So you are busy typing and then you keep eating. Then after a while you start looking, where did it go? Well, nobody has taken it. You've eaten them all. But the reason why our stomach is not sensing that I've put something in there is because my brain is focused on what I am doing. So please, when you are cooking, switch it off. The other thing is about eating in front of the TV. This is really bad. And most of us do it. And it's the same way with the brain. Psycho, motor, visual, audio. My brain cannot switch between a lot of activities. So as I sit in front of the TV and I'm eating, my brain doesn't know that my stomach should get full. Now, so those of us who go to cinema, you will notice what people eat at cinema. Popcorn. Well, how many of us eat popcorn when we are sitting at home enjoying the TV? No, it's kelewele or plantain crepes or something else. Now, these are extra calories on top. I'm sitting down. So please, it's those little tricks we need to make to actually keep us that way. When we were in Africa, we used to walk several kilometers. If I had a big bowl of wachi in the morning, which was what we used to eat when I was younger, my school was 10 kilometers. There was no bus. So I've eaten that big bowl of wachi, but I'm now walking 10 kilometers to my school. So please, it's those little steps we have to make to actually maintain health.
Thank you. Tola?
Thank you. Okay, yes, you can ask questions later when we go over there. The facilitators are still here. But I want to crave your indulgence just to bring on stage the last speaker, and she's spending just 5 minutes. Please, can I have Pamela? Yes. You know, we've talked about not putting salt in food. Now she wants to tell us how to cook without oil. Please put your hands together for her.
7 minutes. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Are you hearing me? Good afternoon. Thank you very much for having me. I know, thank you, Sister Nancy, the father of the house, all the speakers. They speak about everything that I'm going to speak about anyhow, but so, you know, we're just going to move on. But I'm one of those persons, I'm not a medical field doctors, but I'm telling you, I challenge doctors and nurses all the time. I love to challenge them because they said when you read a lot, you research a lot, you kind of have an idea of certain things. And I know they said diabetes cannot be reversed, but I believe diabetes can be reversed. They said, let thy food be thy medicine, and thy medicine be thy food. Is what we put inside of us that determine what we do, how we look, how we feel, all the mental health, all the challenge. It starts from our biggest organ, which is our second brains, which from our mouth straight down to our rectum. What we put in here determine all of what every one of these specialists, lovely ladies, have spoke about. And yes, we need to exercise, we need to move around. I'm the one of them where when the gym see me, they take up their foot and run because I hate the gym. But lately, I start walking. And believe me, it's very refreshing waking up 6 o'clock in the morning and walking around the park. I think better, but for me, when they talk about affirmation, it's very important to mental health. I wake up in the morning, and the first thing when I put my foot on the ground, I would say, I am happy and I'm grateful. Blessing come to me in increasing quantity from various sources. Health. You call these things into being what you want it to become. The brains automatically. You know, Delson Washington says something, if you give yourself 3 days to call certain things into being, it actually become a part of you. Just make sure you do it 3 times a day. Those things that you want, it can come into being. But what I'm here to talk to you about is our food. You know, all the disease and the sickness that we come across every day, there's a missing link of it. And the missing link is how we cook and prepare our food. And I know a few of you ladies here, maybe all of you heard about Salad Master. And the first thing come in your head, it's expensive. Wouldn't you agree? It's very expensive, isn't it? But would you agree it's cheaper than high blood pressure? It's cheaper than diabetes. It's cheaper than cancer. It's cheaper than stroke. It's cheaper than all of that. Because do you know what metal does to your body when we cook from our regular cookware? You on Facebook, YouTube, Teflon, Tefal, non-stick, aluminum. They said from the 60s, they said aluminum is linked to Alzheimer's disease. And our ethnic background people use aluminum more than anything. And that's why Alzheimer's disease is in our community so much. When we talk about keeping nutrients in our food, when you cook in a regular cookware, you have to add water. You have to add salt. You have to add butter. In our Salad Master cookware, the only thing you had is wash the food, you put it in. Remember, everything that comes from our ground, 50% of the goodnesses in the earth come from the skin. So when we start peeling our carrot, peeling our food, we are losing 50% of our goodness. Do you know that our bin is more healthy than most of us? Because when we're not throwing the vitamins and minerals in the bin, we are washing everything, and then we are boiling it on high heat, because the cookware that you're using or the utensil you're using is not allowing you to cook at a certain temperature. Salad Master allows you to cook at only 86 degrees, which is the optimum temperature to kill bacteria, but keeps over 93% of the nutrients in your food. So let thy food be thy medicine, and thy medicine be thy food. If you're cooking your broccoli today or carrot, your water will turn green from the broccoli. That means you lost your nutrients. If you cook in your yam, the water turns starchy. Why do you think Salad Master is in partnership with Diabetes UK? Diabetes Association worldwide. The reason why Diabetes Association worldwide never in history, 105 years, never partnered with no company, not one health company in history. Why do you think they choose to partner with Salad Master? It's because when you cook your food in Salad Master and your body is retaining that nutrients in the food, what will happen? It will help you to have a healthier lifestyle. Because you're frying your fish using no oil. Imagine frying your chicken using no oil. You remember they talk about how fats and oil block up your arteries? You know, you're walking, you're blowing, because there is fat in the arteries. And that gives you a heart attack. You can get a stroke. So everything that they talk about today, it's down to how you're cooking and preparing your food. And if you today, the doctor that just came up a while ago, I don't remember her name, she said, we will always have something to pay for, we will always have something to do, and there will always be a problem. You have to make the decision and choose you, as what Nancy said in the beginning. Choose yourself, choose your health, choose your family. Because I've been into a lot of house doing presentation, and they have walk-in closet with Gucci, Lovato, all side of designer, and they cannot wear none of those shoes. They cannot put on none of those clothes. And when they call in us to help them, we can't help them no more. It's gone too far. Do not be a statistic. Somebody said in the beginning, and I was sitting down there, and they said, you have free NHS. That is free. Yes, NHS is free, but who is paying for it? You are paying for it with your health. All of us are paying for our health. Sorry, I'm one of those persons. We are paying for it, one way or the other. You're paying for it with high blood pressure, diabetes, all sorts of disease. And I want to play one video for you, just to listen to that video. If you don't take away nothing today from any one of these ladies, please listen to this video. Oh, that's me. That's me before, you know. Yeah, that's me. And that's me September. Right? Because I took it. I am someone that used to be on 24 tablets a day. From 2017, 0 tablets. I couldn't walk, 2 walking stick, breathing problem, arthritis, psoriatic arthritis, in process of getting hip replacement, knee replacement. And that's why I'm a qualified social worker for 20 odd years. And I gave up my work talking about food and health. So I want to play this last video. Can you put on that last video and play it just for 1 minute? And please,
you can have
listen.
1,000 problems in life. 1,000 problems in life until you have a health problem. And then you only have one. Everything else, money, relationships, stress, fades away in the shadow of it. Suddenly, the things you once worried about seem so small, because nothing else matters when your body or mind is screaming for help. Health isn't just something you have, it's everything. It's the ability to wake up and feel alive, to move freely, to laugh without pain, to breathe without struggle. But we take it for granted, don't we? Until it's gone, we don't truly understand how precious it is. When your health is compromised, every little thing becomes harder. Dreams get put on hold. Happiness feels distant. And life's colors start to fade. That's why taking care of yourself isn't a luxury. It's an act of love, a gift to your future self. Because when you're healthy, you can face anything. Without it, even the smallest battles feel impossible. Don't wait to lose it, to realize its value. Treasure it now while you still can.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And if you want to know a little bit more, please, I am down there at the end there. And just to let you know, don't think about Salad Master as just cookware. We do so much for the community. Even right now, if you go on our page, you can see we donate so much, like, in Africa where they use the wood fire and millions of women and children die every year. We are producing from last year. We have given away over 2.9 million of the stove. We designed them and we give them to the community. And
Thank you, Pamela, Salad Master. If you have any questions for her, please, at the end of everything, the exhibition stand is there. Please go and she'll explain a lot of things to you. And also, there will be medical screening after everything. Do not leave until you check your kidneys, your blood, your everything. Everything you want to check is there. I'm so scared now, really. I don't know what the numbers will be. I don't want to even imagine it, Okay. After, I just said something and I'm scared. So, and that's why we still need that God factor in everything we do. No matter how careful we think we are or we want to be, we need God. And that's why I want to invite the set man of this ministry, Pastor Olumide Adeyileka, to help us seal up these things with prayers. Pastor, sir.
Thank you, Madam MC. Good afternoon, everyone. Let's be cheerful a little bit. I say good afternoon. Let me tell your neighbors on behalf of Pastor Olumide, I say good afternoon to you all. Fantastic. I know you guys must have been tired. Some of you have been here since 9 a.m., 10 a.m., but it's been lots of information. We've been fully loaded. This is a yearly event put together, supported by this ministry. So we give kudos to Nancy Ebolushe and the medical team. We have a medical team in this ministry. So that's why I'm sitting at the back. I'm not involved in anything because I'm not a medical person. But I like people to be blessed. Because the problem in the church today is prayer, 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 prayer. No knowledge. And the Bible itself says people perish for lack of knowledge. And I believe in knowledge. I'm a professional myself. I'm a career person, although retired now. So I have understanding of the needs of this. But unfortunately, our community, the BAME, or is that what you call them? Yeah, we still don't have that understanding. After all these teaching, some people didn't come today. They will still come and meet me, Pastor. I have this appointment in the hospital. I want you to pray for me. We will pray. But the truth is, prayer alone is not enough. If you are diabetic, I pray for you that God should flush the diabetes away from your bloodstream. You leave my prayer meeting, you go and take the big size Coca-Cola. Then it will be as if God is not working. And God is faithful. So I want to thank the facilitators, the organizers, all of you that have come. And I've come to realize that this is not about church anymore. This yearly seminar has become like a resource place for medical professionals. And I see a lot of medical professionals here. And I see that they've been blessed today, at least. I think as time goes on, I will talk to Nancy. Maybe we can add this to be part of the CPD for career people, medical people, nurses, that when they attend this kind of seminar, it should count as a CPD for them. Am I speaking right? So we can work it out. Because this is education. And it's enlightenment. And I think we should do more of this, although it's yearly for now. And I want to appreciate the Nightingale Nursing Association. They've always been fantastic, supportive. King's College, where my doctor comes from, because you've done not just this seminar, post-seminar. You see, that's the most important thing. You've really helped a lot of our members, and I don't let her just go like that. You've helped them resolve their GP problems. You've helped them carry out further checks on whatever you discover here. And the kind of attention you give to people from us, I say, God will reward you. And this is the kind of networking we need. And I don't just want you to come here. I know some people have left. Don't just go. Network. Let's talk to one another. Because your network is your net worth. Meet somebody here before you go. Talk to somebody. Talk to all these facilitators. I've told Nancy I want to have a photograph with all the facilitators so that when I need you, I will just go and look at the picture. I know what each of you spoke on. I want to just appreciate everyone that has been here. Those of you that have watched online, I want to appreciate you for staying that long online. And we have these, all these things from the beginning till it will end is live broadcasted, and it will remain on our Facebook Live and our YouTube channel. You can share it to other people that are not here. You can make reference to them. Just, if you can write it down, social media handles is HGCC, The Elevation Point. Or if you just type Dear Vision Point on Facebook or YouTube, it will bring our channels up. You can look at this seminar. Everything is recorded, and it will be there until there is no more Mark Subarak. We also have some books that you should go home with. Is it free?
It's not free. Can we support our doctors in the house, please?
Yeah, please, let's support them. The seminar is free, so put a little money and let's support these menopause. 8 ways to crack menopausal symptoms without cracking yourself. As a pastor, they said when women reach menopause, it begins to affect their marriages because they say there's hormone balances. So it's joko. So when I counsel such people, I said, you have to come for deliverance. We'll deliver that hormonal imbalance out of your system. Amen. But these things are scientific, and we should know how to manage them. So, speak up, speak out. This is also very good for our mental health. Dr. Mami, very good. A lot of people are dying in our community because they're not speaking out. We don't want anybody to hear. They don't want to share their issues with anybody. So they bottle it, and it makes them crazy at the end of the day. So if you want to speak out, these are the ways you can speak out is in this book. Please, let's buy some. Can you keep a copy each for me? I'll pay. Okay? So let's, I'm not a religious person. I'm not a religious person, though I'm a pastor. I believe in healing. Last Sunday, we had a healing service here, and I've received testimony. So I believe in divine healing. But more is education. Knowledge is very, very important. I'm able to minister divine healing to people because I am educated. You understand? And I said, go to your doctor, go and check, go and confirm. If you're using your drugs, continue to use your drug. You understand? Don't say, God has healed me, and you go and throw away your drugs. No, continue to use your drugs until your doctor says, don't use it again. So I just want to pray for you that whatever ailment that you have brought in here today, in the name of Jesus, receive your healing in the mighty name of Jesus. Let the hand of God, let it rest upon everyone. Those watching online, let the hand of God rest upon you there. Knowledge to come out of that sickness, the Lord will give it to you. In the mighty name of Jesus. Ability to do the right thing that will bring healing to your body. May God release it unto you in the mighty name of Jesus. You are healed in the mighty name of Jesus. So shall it be. In Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. And the month of April is our medical month in this ministry. Tomorrow, Dr. Mami will continue to speak to us. She'll be speaking on emotional intelligence and leadership. If you are free, you can join us here tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 12:30 by the grace of God, so that we can continue with this. Every Sunday, there will always be something on health. God bless you. Thank you for coming. And I know there is food for you to eat. Don't worry, there's going to be lunch. God bless you. Bye.
All right. Pastor said there will be lunch. I hope the lunch is not going to be rice. No rice. And if it's rice, no salt in it. No plantain. Okay, that's... it will come. Today's my cheat day. Today's my cheat day. Every day is their cheat days. All right. No oil. Yes. No oil, no salt, no rice. I wonder what that food is. All right. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasant day today. It's been an awesome time. And I've said before, the exhibition stand is just here. And also, you can have all of your medical screening done here as well. I hope we'll see you again next year. But before we go, I want to call on the lead for our medical team here at Elevation Point, Nancy Egboluche, for the vote of thanks and the closing remarks.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for taking this time out today to come and change your life. May God bless you. Don't leave here without writing your goals, your health goals. They're very important. I just want to say thank you again on behalf of the Elevation Point for coming to support us, for coming to support this mission, this vision. May God honor you. Please do not leave here without knowing your blood pressure reading. Somebody said 120/80. Let's give it a go. If that is your blood pressure today. But bear in mind that we have something yet special today. For those of you that will be running high blood pressure, you'll be going home with a blood pressure measure. But please do not jump up to get your blood pressure high. Please, it has to be clinical. You know, there has to be clinical ground to have that blood pressure machine. And I think in your bag, you have a thermometer that is free. Is in the bag. Thermometer is free. If you check your bag, you've got a pen, you have a geometer, then you have a thermometer, but the blood pressure machine must be clinically needed. So if your blood pressure is high today, the blood pressure team, NNA, they will be doing the reading and they will let me know. And once you finish, you go to Kidney Health to check your kidney function. It is very important. You cannot live here without knowing your kidney health status. And before we all leave, please, 5 minutes. Can we support these people? This is our BAME community that has put this together. When I went to NHS England to do a course, I actually paid, was it £20? But today is going for £10. Please, can we support this ministry? Can we just quickly use 5 minutes to do this? And I'm going to go around. Once I give it to you, it's £20. God bless you.
wanda ai mana kyauta wanda ya nuna bambanci tsakani hura wuta da itace da wannan murhu shi baya hayaki ba zaka yi girki akan tukunyanka yana nan pepes ba datti ba kome ina ce musu na gode.
We at Roshan believe that no cook should die for cooking, and happy stove, happy women, happy cooking.